Yes, here we are. It's me, back in the building. Ash Wilding on Kloppzone. And today we're bringing you a different slant. We're bringing you our transfer buys. We all know Liverpool need transfers. So we thought we'd bring to you tonight our top 10 transfer targets that we would approach, we would go for, and realistic views. We're playing FSG. We've got our FM football manager hat on. This is top 10 transfers in Kloppzones on the market. Let's go, people. Guess who's back again. G and Ash, what? Tell
What?
friend.
Ooh, that have to be an intro for something real soon.
Keeping it G. I hope you've got a nice comfy cushion because so much streaming's going on. My backside is turning into like a chopping board right now. It's hard, it's flat, and everyone knows that I got that black guy juice at the back. Do you know what I mean? But it's getting a bit flat right now, G, because of all this streaming. But it's for a good cause. You know what I mean? It's for a good cause because tonight we wanted to bring to people some realistic transfers that Liverpool should be going for. We love this kind of stuff. We love FM, but we're going in, aren't we, tonight? We're going in.
100%, man. We got to go in, man. We're going to play the role of FSG, seeing as they don't want to. So we're going to take it into our own hands this evening. And we're going to give you guys the choices of some of the options that we've got available for sale.
We have. Jay, let's start with, before we begin, what type of player, if you're Klopp, right? We know you think differently to Klopp, but if you're in the helm, you're the manager of Liverpool, what type of players would you be bringing in right now?
I'll go as if it was like the beginning of the summer, as opposed to right this very second.
Yeah, because we do business the right way. We bring them in when we need to bring them in. We don't stall like FSG.
And this is what I'm saying. I think I'll be looking at squad players who can challenge the first team players, like players that you wouldn't mind stepping in for a Mo Salah. And I'm actually looking at the players in the team who play the most. They're the ones I'm actually looking at. Maybe you might need to get a squad. Well, I don't like using the word squad player because it makes them sound like, you know, just a guy who's there to be a part of. No. I want a guy who can potentially come in. So good profile, middle-aged, I would say between the ages of about 24, 27. If I'm being honest with you, someone who's kind of...
Are you sure you don't want like a 37-year-old with a beard who's played for a number of Premier League clubs, who can play multiple positions, and he does really well in pre-seasons and on lactate tests? That brother must be milking some juice out.
Listen, if that was a player who was 10 years younger, oh yeah, I'd be all over that, mate. I'd be absolutely all over that. But he said 37, so I feel that that's not the profile I'd want to go with, to be fair. What about you, though? What would you be looking at?
Do you know what? We need... I play a different style altogether. I want to play a different style of football. I want to see... And if we played a different style of football, I don't think we'd need as many players. I really think we've got the quality there if we played a different style of football to manage and cope at the minute. But that's not the case. If we played this style of football, I'd be looking... You need energy in a Liverpool squad. You need energy. But the most important thing for me is competition for places, because that brings the best out in people. Look how lackadaisical Trent's got this season. Trent's got nobody to push him. So Trent's comfortable thinking, right, I don't need to shape up. I don't need to do anything special because Trent, he can kind of get in the team no matter what. So I'm looking for competition. and people challenging for first team places. So, for example, Salah, he needs pushing. So I need a right
100%.
winger, someone who's
Mhm.
pacey, someone who offers something different to these players as well. Because if
Mhm.
you do the same as Salah, you're never getting in the team ahead of Salah. But if you can offer
Yeah.
me something different, you're going to come on, you're going to get game time. And I think that's what we're going to break it down today. But I think FSG on the whole, G, as
Mm.
a business, would you say FSG are very particular in the sense that they look for players the right age. They
Yeah.
don't like complete players. So we couldn't turn around, for example, and go, right, let's get Bernardo Silva in. Right, let's go and get
Yeah.
Mahrez in. We
Yeah.
couldn't do this type of thing. Even when you look at it, the likes of maybe a Bukayo Saka, we're not going to
Mm.
bring in because FSG don't like spending over the odds for players who are big names. They like to look at players who don't really have a track record. They've got
Yeah.
potential, and we can maximize potential and resale value. If we're being honest, we want to get resale value out of them. So we've done that, haven't we? When we've looked at these players who we're going to put up today, we've looked at fitting that FSG model, but being able to add quality to the squad as well.
I think that's what it is. And you said it right there. I think the key is actually the resale. I think they genuinely look at that resale and think, you know what, if we can get a player in for, 30, 40 million, but then at the same time, we're able to sell him for potentially double that. And you've gotten the use out of him for about 3-4 seasons. It's good business. Listen, one thing I will say before we get into this, FSG's business side of things, I would probably put it up there as the best in the world, in my personal opinion. In terms of a football business, if you're talking purely business based, I would have to say, if it's not FSG, I can't think of another club who is as well run as ours, makes as much profit as ours, and still remains as competitive as ours. So, business side, I'll give it to them. I will give it to them. I can't say anything bad against that.
Again, we have a lot to thank FSG for. We have a lot to thank Klopp for. So this is why, in this moment in time, we're kind of stuck. We're like a rock in a hard place, like we're stuck between a rock and a hard place because we owe a lot to Klopp. We owe a lot to FSG, but at the same time, they owe a lot to us now, and they owe to us success because we've
Big up
been
Matthew,
there
by the
or
way.
thereabouts. We should be getting success now. There's a lot of people in the comments saying different names, saying different people. We've got Copites together saying Calvin Ramsey will take time, but he needs to push Trent, and Klopp needs him to know that. I'm dropping Trent anyway and putting Gomez in there for a
You think
game
so?
or two, maybe even next game, because Trent does need to know he's not untouchable. He needs to know that defensively, what he's been doing at the minute is not acceptable, is it?
Yeah. No. And I think with Trent as well, the kind of problem that he's in almost is that he's always guaranteed a place. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like he's always going to be guaranteed that right back position. And I don't know if whether Klopp doesn't want to upset that because Trent's a good player. You know what I mean? Like as much as we're cussing him these last few games, he's just been shit. But if overall he's a very, very good player, if not the best, one of the best players in his position. So I don't know if Klopp's looking at him and thinking, I don't really want to get anybody who's going to trouble that. But I do think that Klopp needs to start looking at players like Trent. And this is what I meant about the ones who play all the time. Your Trent, your Salahs, Virgil we've got cover for, Robbo we've got cover for, midfield obviously we're looking at today. Just those players who play quite a lot because they need a rest. But what you said was so key. They do need to be a bit different than what we already have.
Yeah.
And that I agree with.
I want to just put some comments up of what people are saying, like some options that people are going with in the comments so far. We've got Football Flashback saying, let's get Sarri. I nearly said Sarri then. Let Maurizio Sarri stay where you are, bro. We're happy with Klopp right now. It's not Klopp out. It's not Klopp out. Don't worry. I'd get Sarr, he's saying. 25 million is a steal. This is what I said to
25 million though.
We discussed this, didn't we, G? We discussed Ismail Assar because we were linked with him 2 seasons ago or 2 summers ago. We said he's a lot cheaper now than he was pitched to be then. He had something different, physical, but in the end, we didn't opt for Ismail Assar, did we, G? Why did you not opt for Ismail Assar? Why did we not like him in the end? It wasn't a case of not liking him, was it? It was a case of Liverpool maybe deserve a little bit better.
Yeah. Like sometimes it feels like, yeah, even when I hear myself speak, it does sound like I'm being a bit like too ambitious at times, like because he is a very decent player, but I just don't know if he's the player that I'm looking at. Okay, do you know what I'm looking for? Okay, now we've got our list of players, and those are a few of them. But if I had my ideal world, I would have Salah starting potentially if he's on form.
Yeah.
But if not, I want Gnabry. Like
Yeah.
that is like almost the kind of replacement that I'm looking at, and people are gonna think, bloody hell, you want the best of the. I know. Do you know what I mean? I know. I want that kind of quality because then Salah hasn't got time to have those games he had yesterday. He would have been hooked off before he scored because Gnabry would be coming on the left hand side. I would prefer to have Leroy Sane as opposed to having a Diaz. Diaz would be a brilliant backup option, like one of the best backups who can also start
Yeah.
in other games.
Imagine Diaz off the bench as well. The sharpness. Like,
Oh,
Diaz is
come
the
on.
perfect. And I know he's going to start every game, and rightly so. Like, there's no one else who
Yeah,
can do it at the minute. But Diaz from the bench would be electric. He would be
100%.
electric, bro.
100%, bro. And I think like when you're looking at someone like a Diaz, again, we've seen what he can do, what he can't do, and stuff like that. I fully feel if he was more of an impact player and someone who obviously played in the lesser game, so to speak, I reckon we'd get that same kind of Diaz we got when he first joined. Because late in games, 60 minutes, as we know, Klopp loves a 60-minute sub. 60 minutes, you got half an hour left of the game to kind of impact it in whatever way. Defenders do not want to face against Leroy Sane, who's a burners, and then to have Diaz, who's a trickster. Mate, you're going to go home with your ass and feet sore. I'm telling you now.
And that's it, isn't it? Like, when we've done this, we could have easily just gone, right, Serge Gnabry,
Yeah, exactly.
Leroy
The easy ones,
Sané,
Jude Bellingham, like we could have said all
Vinicius
of them.
Jr. Like,
Yeah.
we could have just rhymed all these players off. And Kunku, Florian
Mm-hmm.
Wirtz, all these players we could have
Oh,
rhymed off.
another
But
good one.
we've got to be realistic. Liverpool are never going to approach these type of players. We need to get it out of our head now. If we get Jude Bellingham, I will eat my hat live on a stream. I'm telling you that.
You
for
heard it
free.
here first, guys. Ash Wilding will eat his hat on a live stream if we sign Jude Bellingham. Hey, FSG, please get it
We
sorted.
need like a breaking news kind of sound effect. Breaking news. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, guys.
Ash Wilding will eat his hat if we sign Jude Bellingham.
You guys heard
You
it.
know what, though?
Listen, you guys know I don't forget. You know I don't forget.
Gee, never forget. So you know what they say about elephants, never forget. But Jude Bellingham, I just don't think he's coming. And it's not
No.
realistic for us to turn around and do this transfer chat to say that we would get a Bellingham right now, because that's not going to happen this transfer window. So what I want to do before we jump into the picks, G, I want to talk about players that we might have missed out on. So players that other clubs have managed to snap up when Liverpool readily need midfield players. Other players have managed to snap up these top class players in the summer, and Liverpool haven't even been competing with them. So, does anyone spring to mind for you when we talk about missed out opportunities this summer?
Bissouma, who's gone to Spurs. Has he even played?
I have not seen Bissouma playing. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know what's happening, but I feel like if he's gone to Spurs and doesn't play, because who's been playing central midfielders? Winks and
Winks has been playing.
I'm not sure who's been playing
Let me check
in
Spurs'
central
bloody.
midfield, but if Bissouma's not been playing, that's another kick in the testicles for Liverpool. Because
Absolutely.
why be linked with him 1 minute and then the next minute he's just out the picture? When he's cheaper, when he's available to buy, I don't understand the way we move sometimes.
Yeah, they played Bentancur and Højbjerg in the last game.
Yeah, Bentancur and Højbjerg.
He came on.
So Bissouma came on. So that even shows Bissouma might not be in the plans. Bissouma's a backup. Bissouma, and we look at so many Premier League teams now. they're so much stronger than our midfield. So many midfields now are stronger than Liverpool's, especially in those top 6 teams. I don't know what to say about it because Klopp must know this team.
You got to realise, we all said it in the group this weekend when we saw Tottenham play Wolves. Look at Wolves midfield. Please do not anyone even try and tell me that you wouldn't have had their entire midfield this week. And I'm talking even when our players are fit, there are some I'd probably not be leaning, but I'll be looking at some of their, like at least Neves and Nunes, and I'll be thinking maybe Thiago and Fabinho can have a rest today. I don't mind Nunes dropping in. I don't mind Neves coming in for a game, against one of the potential Leicester sides, but even against one of like a Leicester or a West Ham or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Do you know another one that springs to mind? And it's one that's recent. It's one that's in everybody's mind. Matheus Nunes to Wolves. Liverpool linked with him. Ends up going to Wolves. 40 million, was it? Around about 40 million?
Yeah.
How are Wolves beating us to players, G?
Because for some weird reason, he's not the quote-unquote right player. Unfortunately. So we're not going to sign someone like Matheus Nunes, unfortunately. This is the thing that we're getting to a point. Do we even know, like us as fans? So me and you sitting here, everybody in the comment section, please let us know as well. Do we actually know what Klopp wants? Does anybody know? Because
Bellingham,
apparently, but like for example, you got to look at it like this, and I think someone's mentioned this before. It might have been Jerry. And he said, look at the midfielders that we're linked with anyway. Do you not feel like they're all different? Like they don't all do the same thing, but for some reason, we're linked with all of them. Do you get what I mean? Like your Tchouameni to Jude Bellingham, to Barella, to Matheus Nunes, to Caicedo. Like that's 5 players we've been linked with, and they all kind of do a different job. So then I'm just a bit like, so what midfielder do you want to buy? I don't really get it now. Do you want a box to box? Do you want a defensive mid? Do you want a tackler? Do you want a, I don't know. Do you want a guy who knows how to
ball player? Like, do you want a possession? Do you want someone who's going to retain the ball? Do you want somebody who's going to be physical? Someone who's going to go box to box? Like, we're linked with all these different style of players. Like, even if you look at it, right, Tchouameni, physical, strong player. Then we're linked with Matheus Nunes recently. Nice on the ball. Got a bit of swagger about him. Silky, smooth. Sander Berger, box to box. Can do a box to box role. Then we go back to Caicedo. It's that Basuma mold. Physical. It's like, what do we want? Like you've just said, what does Klopp just want a midfield player who, when they come, does he look at them actually and say, right, I want to mold them because we know what Klopp does. That's a good person that I can mold into a runner, someone who can be physical, someone who makes runs, someone who can cover. Because that's all a midfielder is going to do if they come into Liverpool. Retain the ball as well. I feel like you've got to retain the ball well in Liverpool's midfield. That's all he's looking at.
You say that, but I mean, would we say that Harvey Elliott is someone who retains the ball very well? Like, it is one of those kind of tricky kind of situations, if I'm being totally honest with you, because would you sign, like, okay, do you think he signed Harvey Elliott to play right central midfield? Do you think that was his first ball?
Do you know what? I don't actually know because...
Exactly. We don't even know, bro.
If we look at Elliott, right, when was you most excited about Elliott? And when in his development have you been most excited about Harvey Elliott?
When he was at Blackburn.
Exactly. When he was at Blackburn Rovers. Where was he playing? Right wing.
Right wing.
That's when we all got excited. And then he came into our team, looked a bit swaggy, pulled his socks up. You know, he's one of those players, high socks. If you're creating a FIFA player, high socks, tight kit, armband, whatever, like the little wristband, be a bit quirky, nice quirky haircut, few tattoos. Like, he's the perfect FIFA player, so everybody wants him to do well because they feel like they can live the career goal through Harvey Elliott. But the
Yeah.
realistic approach is Harvey Elliott is a baller of a right winger. So
Yeah,
play
right
him on
wing.
the right goddamn wing, boy.
And this is what I'm saying. As a right winger, yes. But we're playing a right central midfield, which is two different positions. So now I'm a bit like, I don't really get it. Like, I honestly don't. Curtis Jones, again, I can't see how Klopp looked at him doing all of that, playing under Steven Gerrard, remember? So Gerrard definitely would have recommended him and said, look, I think left wing, he's probably got that down to a T. Let's bring him up, see how he is. He's come into the first team as a left winger. Harvey Elliott came into the first team as a right winger, but we are playing the guys in central midfield. Carvalho, I don't even know what his position is sometimes when he's on the pitch.
So basically, G, what we're trying to say is whoever signs for Liverpool,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry because your creativity is going to get stifled. You're going to be asked to run. Intensity, chase, press. Will you look at my book? Have a signed book from me. Chase, press. That's all that's going to happen when they come in because Pep Linders is going to drill it into them. So I'm sorry, whoever signs, but we have to do it. So everyone in the comments, drop who you would sign before we get into our 5. I'm going to run through some right now. By the way, everyone in the comments, unbelievable. There's so many people live in this show right now. Gee, just let them know, what do we ask in return? Like, we're putting on this show for the people. We're doing this as fans for the fans. We're doing it for free. We don't want any money whatsoever. We just want
speak for yourself. So
Ash, I want a few P's. I'm not going to lie.
Any money. I will take any donation. I will leave my GoFundMe.
No. We don't do. We won't extort you, the fans, but we will extort the organizations. So if you get us to where we need to be, we'll get you the sponsors, give you the freebies. We'll do everything for the fans because we do not in this building charge you to post a comment. No shade intended. G, away you go.
That actually threw me off guard. Guys, look, we only ask, please smash a like as soon as you come into the building. Share it with your mama, your mama's mama, your mama's 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 mama, your mama's 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 sister. Please.
What about your baby mama? Are we not sure
if
about
you're
that?
cool with her, then send it to her, please. Yeah. But if you're not cool with her, don't, because she ain't gonna like it.
Don't. Because what she'll probably do is say, why can't you like it yourself? Go and like it yourself. Do you know what I mean? We don't need that kind of drama. So leave the baby mamas out of this and just slap a like yourself because we love you in the building, because you are the best followers on YouTube, on Instagram, across social media. But let's get to what they're saying. Trent was in the red zone for a substantial amount of last season. This is exactly why we need someone to push Trent. We need someone to come in. We're talking about signings. Jed Spence, by the way. I love that guy. Great player from Nottingham Forest at Tottenham now. He's going to add so much to Tottenham's team when he's fit. Nico Williams, letting Nico go, that was ridiculous, by the way. But I know you're not too sure on Nico, but he's better than what we have.
It's not even that, bro. It's like for his own development, he had to leave. But I'm looking at the situation now, and I'm like, we let him go. We signed Calvin Ramsey. We let Connor Bradley go on loan. Calvin Ramsey's injured. Even if he wasn't injured, I don't see how and where he was coming into the team ahead of a Connor Bradley. Maybe because the only thing I can possibly say is maybe because Calvin Ramsey has played top level football, obviously in the Scottish division, but he's played top level football. So, Connor Bradley hasn't. So that gives him a bit of an edge potentially.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't. Where is Ramsey? That's what we need to know. We just need to know. Ramsey, where are you?
Are you okay?
Just holler at us. Yeah, are you okay? We're actually concerned about his safety right now, weren't we, G? Because
we saw what happened to Ben Davis.
Yeah, that's it. He was in Klopp's basement for a long time. It was that long that Ben Davis, he went in looking like a model. When he signed, I was like, oh, this guy could be on the cover of like GQ or something. He came out looking like Stigger the Dump with his long hair, with his raggedy ass beard. Like, come on, we don't want that to happen to Ramsey. He's a young man. We don't want it to happen. Connor Burnett is saying,
I hope you guys know it's not me being cheeky. It's Ash. Only Ash coming from his mouth.
Trust me, G's going to say worse things. He has said worse things and will always say worse things. Not in jest either. It comes from G's heart when G says it. Nicola Barella, says Connor. It would be very expensive, but would slot perfectly into our midfield. If you had the
100%.
choice, G, Nicola Barella, Jude Bellingham, which one would you take?
Are we thinking about the fee? Does the fee matter, or just we'll just
right?
play it?
Imagine the fee is the same price, because maybe it is the same price.
Exactly.
Nicola Barella, 100 million. Jude Bellingham, 100 million. Who are you going for?
I think Nicola Barella is the better player now.
See, a lot of people would agree. I want to know, people in the comments, let us know if you agree with G on that one. Barella over Jude Bellingham, because
you know what? I'll go Barella. I'll go Barella. I feel like he's someone who comes in now and we get better immediately, if that makes sense, as opposed to Jude. I don't feel like we get that much better, and I feel like it's going to take a minute before we get there. But when we do get there, the ceiling is so high. But Barella seems like a player that it almost reminds me of Verratti, someone that you have to have that kind of player in your team. He's a player I'll take. Verratti.
So true. Conor Burnett, have you been looking at the little documents for this show saying that he would take Pedro Neto? Why are we not in for him? Stay tuned on that one. He may not, featuring our top 10. Realism Jared again.
Hold on. Who would you take? Barella or Bellingham? You thought you can get out of this. Who would you take?
I thought I'd dodge that bullet then. Shit. Did you see how quick I hustle?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do you finish up. Okay, we move on. Do you know what, right? In the World Cup, not the World, no, the Euros. It was the Euros. In the Euros, I thought Barella was sensational.
Same.
Like, sensational. Everyone talking about Jorginho. It was Barella and Berardi down the right-hand side. They lit up the Euros for me. The only problem is, right, and I know this is a stupid thing, but Italians and the Premier League just don't mix well. It's just never been you look at like maybe Zola and Di Canio, like your top level ones, yes. But who've we had? Like Aquilani, bro.
Aquilani, flipping out.
So it's a hard one. Dosenna. Come on, bro.
But look at the ones that we're getting. Like, we're not even getting like the best of the best. Like, we're getting these kind of, these guys. Like, no disrespect to Dosenna and Aquilani, but they're no Zola or Di Canio, I'll tell you that much, boy. But you're right, though. I don't know many. Who's the best Italian I've ever seen in this league?
I'd say Di Canio off the top of my head. Like, Di Canio was top class. But you had Gianluca Vialli, you had Gianfranco Zola, Jorginho. I'm trying to think of, top quality. This is it. There's not a lot of quality Italians.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think of that. I never even thought about the Italians who've been in the Premier League. I'm trying to run through it in my brain, but you know what? Maybe I will go Bellingham then. Sorry, Barella.
Yeah, sorry, Barella. You was born in the wrong place. Jude's coming instead. But what I would say, Barella is top class. You know what I think about Bellingham. I genuinely think he's the next. Do you know what? If I'm speaking to Bellingham, honestly, I'm saying don't come to Liverpool. Because if you go to a Real Madrid, if you go to a Manchester City, you're going to have the freedom. Imagine a Bellingham at Arsenal as well next season.
That's a player that Arsenal should probably be trying to.
Patrick Vieira reincarnated. I think Liverpool are just going to stifle again. He'll still be class at Liverpool, don't get me wrong, but he won't be the guy. He'll be the team guy. He'll be the guy that provides for the guy. He'll do the job because he's such a good footballer. His intellect, he'll be able to do everything. So I'd take Bellingham in a heartbeat, but I think Bellingham should look elsewhere if he wants to actually be known as one of these top class players. It's tough though, isn't it? It is tough. Let's keep running through the comments. Cucurella. No. Cucurella is at Chelsea.
We can't buy Cucurella, mate.
We don't need a left back. It's that simple, isn't it? We don't need a left back. Højbjerg saying Connor again. It's another great shout. Like Højbjerg, solid, robust. Bogdan in the building.
Big up,
We need
BB.
like a foghorn noise. We'll give him Bogdan in the building. Saying, what about Neuhaus? Great player again. But I feel like if we've been linked with them before, it's kind of not going to happen now. I feel like the ship has sailed with that one. We were heavily linked, weren't we? And I feel like the ship has kind of sailed with that one. I'm trying to look at some more players. James has got it right. Subscribe, people. Realism Jared, you have it right. Hit the like button, people. Ravi
RJ. That's what I'm calling him
Bikiri,
now, by the way. I'm calling him RJ.
Yeah, RJ, I like that. I like that.
No. You call him Realism Jared. I will call him RJ. You're not out here trying to steal my name.
Do you know what? G is the master of abbreviations. KZ, G, RJ.
Do we not use KZ now? I mean, look, don't shoot the messenger, bro. Don't shoot me.
Do you know what? I like KZ. I'm not going to lie. I really like KZ. This is so true, Marque. Oscar, Carvalho and Elliott, better 10s for me, and potentially Jones. I love me a Curtis Jones. We all know I love me a Curtis Jones. Let's look at some more players. There's so many comments, people, by the way. Really appreciate you jumping in and leaving your comments. We're going to pin as many as we can tonight because it's all about you, all about transfers and what you think. What are your thoughts on Sarr? We just said that, Mohammed. We just said that we feel like that ship sailed as well. We've been linked with Sarr. We had a chance. I feel like if we got him when we were linked with him, it'd be top class now. We wouldn't even be. I think he would have learned from Mane because, like, Mane would be an idol to Sarr. Do you know what I mean? He'd look at Mane. He'd look up to him. He'd learn from him. But no, who are the idols? Who's left? Gee, at Liverpool, like Salah. You look up to Salah, but will Salah take someone under the wing, or will Salah want to go? You know what? I want to keep the goals to myself. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like with Salah and take it like Harvey Elliott seems like he proper. You know what I mean? Like Salah, like is his idol, which is obviously he's young, so of course he's going to look at someone of Salah's age and ability and think, yeah, this is the guy. But I don't know, you know, in that team, maybe because Salah looks like he's a proper professional. Yeah. Like I've never heard that he's a bad trainer. Like, but I'll be real. I've got a son. I was about to say if I had a son, I've got a son. If he was in like the academy or anything like that, or in and around first teams, I'll be honest. As much as I slate him, I would actually tell him you need to actually just follow James Milner. Just do what he does. Whatever he does, you do that. You'll have a long career like he has, and you'll be happier for it.
Yeah, it's so true. It's actually so true. Do you know what? We've got Ollie, and Ollie's trying to troll us here. But first of all, Realism Jared, Bundesliga players don't gel in the PL. Apparently, like, it's true. When you look at the top players as well, Ballack didn't come in and gel that well. Who's that?
Gundogan.
Gundogan. Yeah, I agree. Gundogan. Whoa.
Kevin De Bruyne.
He's a baller. You know what? De Bruyne is not even a Bundesliga. I don't even care. Like, I never see De Bruyne. De Bruyne was Chelsea, then he had a little play around and came to Man City. Like, he's not Bundesliga.
Oh, but that play around was pretty good.
KDB. The Bundesliga doesn't deserve him. But Ollie's trolling us, G. Mario Balotelli, he wants him. Guess who else he wants him,
You know what? Balotelli, old school Balotelli.
We take him right now, G. We take him right now.
Listen, a bit of a maverick. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that. Someone to just ruff a few feathers and that.
John Joe Shelby. Ollie, get the fuck out of here, Ollie. Ollie, get out of here, boy. No, we love it. I love the trolling. Keep the trolling coming. This is a great show. Fabian,
Fabian
from Napoli. Another great show. Someone who I did consider when we were doing our little team.
He's very tidy.
He's very tidy player. Would fit the Liverpool mold so well. Another great, like there's some great shows coming in here from Conor Burnett as well.
That's the one I wanted. I wanted him for like 3 years. And when he went to AC, I was like, for fuck's sake, excuse my language, like, He is a top quality player. I honestly believe that. Honestly believe that. He'd easily, in my opinion, probably dispel Fabinho in a season or two if he got games. I'm that confident of how good he is.
No, I completely agree. James has been spying on our things, you know, G. James the
Right.
Brain, I'm going to pop it up quick, but I think he might have seen the thumbnail for the show as well. Tielemans, 16 million. I think he
Yeah, that's
might
a
have been
no-brainer.
spying.
Yeah, that's a
On that
no-brainer.
note, G, should we jump in and hit them with our top 10 players that we would recruit right now if we were FSG, if we were Liverpool? Let's jump straight in. Listen, people, if you don't agree and you think we're chatting ish, then let us know. And that's not you ish, like that's not our boy ish. That's like another way. For those of you that don't understand the terminology, that's like another way of saying shit. You know what I mean? So if we're chatting ish, then let us know, people. Let's get in then, G. Let's go with our first one. Do you want to start midfield or do you want to start forwards? Because we've broken it down, haven't we? 5 in each category. So what would you like to start with, G? Midfielders or forwards?
Forwards, because midfield, we all know we bloody need one. So let's start with the forwards.
Let's start with the forwards indeed. Let's start with someone that's already been mentioned in the show, but it is Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto, 28.8 million. I know these values, by the way, are transfer market values.
Transfer market,
so we've got the values from transfer market. We know for a fact Neto's probably looking at about 45 million. So
yeah.
Pedro Neto, do you know what, G? When we signed Jota, and then I seen Neto the season later, Neto looks like a better fit for Liverpool than Jota is, in my opinion.
Yep, 100%. Hence the reason why when we signed Jota, no disrespect to Jota because he's done well, but when we signed him, I was like, that's not the guy I thought it was. Like I actually had to look twice at the screen and Google. Hold on, what does Pedro Neto look like then? And then I realized, we got the other one. Fair enough. I mean, he's okay if you want to say that at best. You know what I mean? But Neto is the one that I really, really want. I still take him now.
Bogdan does not like you, G. He doesn't like you. Connor Burnett, though, Neto's absolute class and such a high ceiling. This is the thing. The potential with Neto, when you look at Wolves, the way they play, they play through the middle, they utilize Jimenez. They like to play through Jimenez. They like to play direct because they've got a nice little ball playing midfield. They used to give the ball to Adama Traore, used to charge. Neto can only show what he can do when he gets the ball in space. With Liverpool, we would develop his game so much. He'd be a perfect fit. He would offer something different. I feel like he'd be clinical, you know. I feel like he might do a more clinical job and do the same role as what Diaz does now.
I was just about great minds think alike. I was just about to say the same thing, bro. Like he is, in my opinion, a Diaz with an end product. Just he's in a team where I don't feel like they all like against Spurs, they played really, really well, but he was so quiet out on the right-hand side, which was weird as well, because usually I see him on the left, but because Guedes was on the left-hand side, he was on the right, and he was quite quiet, but he was effective when he needed to be. When he picks up the ball, you know there's danger coming. Do you get what I mean? So I'd definitely take him. Like, why we're not looking at him, I don't know. Like, why wouldn't you look at him? Why wouldn't you?
Can play across
Future in
the
the
front
mind.
three. Can play across the front three. Fits the Liverpool system. Again, you've got this Portuguese. You've got Jota in the Portuguese can conversate with the Brazilians. There's this kind of stuff. Like it'd be a perfect fit for me, but Arsenal are probably going to end up getting him. We're going to let that another one slip through the net, and we're going to be talking about this at the end of the season. But gee, there's a lot of people throwing names in there. Let's go, Ollie. We've told you, Ollie. We've told you.
I'm not even responding.
Look at me, Ollie. Look at me now. Don't test me, boy. Don't test me, Ollie.
I'm not even responding. I don't want no Eddie Nketiah.
No, we don't. We really don't want Eddie Nketiah. I like these. So let's throw some of these names about because we know that RJ, as Jay likes to call him, RJ in the house, people.
There's a lot of haters. There's a lot of haters.
There's so much hate.
Haters are crazy.
RJ, we know that he knows football. This is why we're popping this one up here. Enzo Lafille, Kefren Thrum, Benaka, I think that's Kone, I think it is. I'm guessing that's who it is. These are affordable, all under 40 M's. This is exactly it. Never mind the obvious ones like Neto, Barella, Goncalves. We understand that, but Neto is affordable. That's the price that we can pay right now for Neto. Yeah. We can afford 40 million, 45 million. But then again, how many players do we need in? Would we be able to get Neto and then a midfielder or another couple of players? So the jury might be out on that. Again, Oscar's agreeing with realism. Well, he's not actually, because he said no Goncalves.
Oh, this is the other one.
Is this the other? No, it's Pedro Goncalves. No?
From Sporting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is who we are about. We are about the same person. I understand, no, G. Again, great player, but I feel like this player would cost a bit of a fee right now because his name's on a lot of clubs' lips. So I feel like it's a bit out of touch. Are we saying it's a bit out of touch for Liverpool? How embarrassing is that?
Bro, and I'm kind of struggling here with even the terminology that we're using, because the reality is, like the last comment that you put up there about never mind all these other players. What do you mean never mind? That's the level that's the minimum I'm expecting. I'm not even expecting like too much, but that should be the bare minimum. You should look at someone like Pedro Neto and say, yeah, go on, why not? That shouldn't be something that we're like, oh, I don't know, because it could be a little bit techie with the price, and we can't afford to buy another player, and oh Jesus, I don't know.
I like this one, G. This is someone I thought about.
Yes.
Paredes from PSG.
Yep.
Nice little player, really techie ball player, can be physical as well. Nice little touch. I like this option. This is one that could potentially get into the list. It just all depends on price. So great shirt from Ellis 38 there. Really good player. Let's look who else we've chucked in here, because there's some players, a lot of people I'm seeing in the comments are agreeing with some of the people that we've gone for, G, especially when we get onto that midfield. So let's run through some more attackers. Let's move on to the next one. This is a stab in the dark as well with this one, because it is Michael Olise.
My favorite
guy, by the way. When we're talking about, Harvey Elliott and giving him a chance, when we're talking about Bukayo Saka being 80 million or Jared Bowen being close to 100 million, when we're talking about these players, this is the guy for me. This is the guy for me, G, because 19.8 on the transfer market, but Palace would probably say they're probably looking at 30, 40 million in it.
Yeah.
But Olise, this is the type of player that's perfect. If you're building for the future and you're resting all your laurels on a Harvey Elliott, Olise has the game time. He's proven in the Premier League. He's taken Crystal Palace to the next level. Crystal Palace can't keep up with his intellect of football. Same with Eberechi Eze.
Yeah.
Both ballers, but Olise for me has that je ne sais quoi, that pièce de résistance. Talk about Olise, G, and why he's in our list.
I mean, I like that. I mean, he is French, so yeah, he probably has got that je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of them players, man. Anyone who's seen him, you know what this guy's about. On that left peg, trying to get the ball off him. When he came on against Liverpool, I promise you now, I think it was still Robbo at left back at that time. They were shitting bricks. They were shitting bricks because he took a touch, and I think he was just by the byline near our box. Sorry, and I was like, yep, don't let him get inside, because if he comes in and unleashes a shot, it's going to be 2-1, and we're definitely going to lose the game. Do you get what I mean? I think with someone like him, you sign him. You say, like, when people talk about Elliott, and again, no disrespect to Elliott, when we talk about Elliott, and I'm sorry, but when we talk about Jones, when we talk about these kind of players, Elise is the same age, I believe. I think he's still 19.
19 years of age, yeah.
19 years of age. That is the minimum I am looking at from my youngster. That is the quality that I'm talking about. When people ask, like, oh, Elliott's this, no. There's a difference between Elliott, Elise, Foden. Those are the levels that you're looking at. And I'm not even saying that Elise is on Foden's level, because Foden's a bit higher than that, just due to experience. But Elise, I would love us to sign Elise. I think that is a proper. You're showing intent, because he's a player who could easily step into the team now and battle with Mo Salah, but his ceiling is absolutely high. Cut in, take a guy on the outside. He's got a bit of tricks to him, and he can finish. What more do you want?
What more do you want? Like, literally, Elise. That's the... And so many people, G, we know our business. That's why we've took this seriously, G. Tell them we've took this so seriously, boy.
I took this seriously.
So seriously. I feel like we need some kind of ching money drop. We'll get the sound effects in later, but Mark is saying Elise 100%. Oh yes, Elise. Elise, what a player from RJ. Sorry, I can't steal your phrase. Kind of realism, Jared. 100% saying what a player. Elise for sure, saying Mohamed Al Hawaj. Mark, one of my favourite ballers in the Prem. Connor's saying he thinks Elise would set us back 50 at least. 45 to 50, saying James. Palace will want 50 million if Gordon is 50. Gordon's 60 now, by the way.
See, this is what I'm saying. When you get crap players going for so much, like, you just mess up the market for everybody else, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Annoying.
Let's move on then.
Hold on, before we move on. Pedro, because I'm going to ask you for more or less each. So whoever gets through to the next round, I'll keep asking you. Pedro Neto or Elise? You can only pick one.
Bro, there's not even a debate for me. Like, Elise's coming in straight away. Do you know why? Because Neto's the perfect Liverpool. He's the signing. He's the perfect FSG signing, Neto. Yeah. Elise is the type of signing that you get when you want to win the Premier League. When you want to progress, when you want to create a dynasty, as Klopp says, the guy to get is Elise. Because he's got... Do you know what he's got? He's got that English grit.
You wanted to say je ne sais quoi, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I was going to drop that in a second. He's got that English grit about him. Like, I'd look at him and think, okay, his name's Michael. Is he English? Yeah. What's going on? Like, but he's Mikel. He must be Mikel. So he's got the English grit about him. He's got the confidence. He's got the swag. But he's also got that, like, suave, sophisticated, je ne sais quoi. He's going to be one hell of a player, 100%. Who would you go with?
Oh, bro, I'm with you, man. I'm picking Elise over most people. I'm picking Elise over, like, a lot of top forwards out there anyway, purely just from seeing him. And I think that his ceiling is very high. When he leaves Crystal Palace, he can only go up. I feel that Man City are going to try and buy him, though. I have this inkling Man City would replace Mahrez with him because they're so similar.
It's a great show, that, actually.
Let's not give them any ideas.
Man City, we didn't say anything. What you want about? Please. Paqueta is being thrown in there as well. Another good signing. But Elise, I think that's our winner so far. It's strange. This is strange opinion. We should have never sold Minamino. You weren't sure on that one, were you, G?
We weren't playing him in the right position. So I just felt that because he never played in the right position, we never really saw him. And I don't think he would ever play in the right position, which I don't actually know where that is anymore. So I'd rather we just sold him, to be honest.
Yeah, completely agree. Do you know what? Before we go on to, because like all these comments are popping in, and I know it might not be relevant right now because we're talking about attackers first, but this is a midfielder. G, how many times have we said this in the past week or so? Weird shout, Joe Linton. He's a baller on his day.
Joe Linton on me, like, weirdly enough.
It's mad this. Like, Ellis, have you been like hacking our little chats? I feel like Ellis has put a bugged our phones or something like FBI. He's got the FBI glasses. Look, in the thing, he's got the FBI glasses on.
Yeah,
he's got one of them old 80s. It looks like an old FBI guy. Do you know what I mean? But tell him about Joe Linton.
We could use that. You never know.
Tell him about Joe Linton, what we've been saying about him, because whoo, he's impressing me.
Yeah, like, and the weirdest thing is, I don't understand how you've turned. You see, Klopp, you might need to start looking at what Eddie Howe's doing over there, because that's how you turn an attacker into a midfielder. He's been trying to do it with Firmino for bloody ages, but that's actually how you do it. But I think, if I'm being honest, they must have looked at his skill set and decided that you're not a striker here. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not good
Yeah.
enough to really score enough goals, but he's big, he's strong, he's a bit like, he's an Adama Traore, but a central midfield version. And has got a bit more, in my opinion, about him where he's a bit cuter than an Adama Traore. So I feel like when you've got a strong runner like that alongside another player who I would sign, Bruno Guimaraes, like, whew. So it's a good little midfield Newcastle got there, definitely.
We've not put this guy in our top 10. We're going to move on to the third person in our list now, but you've not put this guy in. But wow, if he stays fit, Saint-Maximin, he's electric. Like, there's no one at the minute in the Premier League as electric as Saint-Maximin, in my opinion.
I think someone like him at Liverpool, though, he'll probably end up frustrating us. I feel like we get frustrated with Diaz. I feel like he'd frustrate us even more, because he is just, as you say, he's electric. He's got tricks, but I don't ever see him getting to that level that you should be at in terms of that, elite level, even world-class level. Like, because I just think he's more about the show than he is about the end product, really. Great at doing the show, though, by the way. Like, he's probably the best player at that in the Premier League, but can you really see him playing for one of the top clubs? Realistically, Newcastle might just be, and Newcastle on the way up, so you never know. Know.
It's a tricky one with him, I suppose, because it's the injury issue as well. Like, if I'm a Liverpool fan, I don't want to see Saint-Maximin come in, because he's probably just going to be injury prone again. Like he's wrapped up like a mummy as it is, G.
Bro,
he's coming out looking. Do you know what I mean? Like, it looks so, when he runs, I'm like, oh, bro. It's like me when I get out of bed in the morning. I'm like, oh, just give my joints a little crack. Pass me the oil. Let me grease up before I stretch. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel sorry for Saint-Maximin, but let's move on to the next one in the list. We've had Neto already. We've had Elise just. Now, the next potential signing that we think Liverpool should approach or could approach is this guy. Harvey Barnes, lads. I would drop him in a minute, kids. Harvey Barnes, right, for me, at the right team, he shits all over Mason Mount, all over Jack Grealish. He's the only person who is English right now who's competing with Phil Foden for an England place as a winger or a forward. I think he's a sensational player, G. And Leicester at the minute, in dire straits, maybe you could extort them. I don't know. They're trying to charge 70 for Fofana. He's rated at 28. I think we could snatch up Harvey Barnes if we really wanted to.
40 million?
40? Even 40. 50, like 50 million or whatever, that's still a good shout, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's a good player. Such a strong runner. Again, these are players that, like, some of them we've named, like, he's a good runner with a ball, man. And he's not really flashy, like, which I actually like. Like, he's not flashy. He just runs with the ball and then puts the ball in the area that I need him to. He's got a good finish on him. He's got a good touch on him as well. Passing range, it's all right for someone of his position. I think, you know what? Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot, man. I like Harvey Barnes quite a lot.
Do you know what vibes Harvey Barnes gives me? He gives me Wayne Rooney vibes, because when he's running with the ball, he's tenacious. He's got a great low center of gravity. He's physical. He's so strong on the ball.
Is he left or right-footed?
I think he's right-footed, but plays on the left. But that's what I mean. You wouldn't know, because he can use either foot as well. He's played in attacking midfield position before. You know, when you sign for Liverpool, you've got to be versatile. There's no point coming to Liverpool anymore if you're a one-position man. Even Nunes, you're thinking, right, Nunes, striker. But nah, Nunes might be utilised on the left when he comes back. We don't know. But James is saying Leicester would want 70 to 80 million. It's probably, that could be a good show. I feel like it's unpredictable on what Leicester would want for Harvey Barnes right now, because Fofana's they're extorting Chelsea because they know Chelsea will pay. Fofana
and Chelsea need a centre back, so they know it.
Whereas Liverpool came in with a reasonable offer. I feel like we could test the waters because no one else is sniffing around Harvey Barnes right now. So
everyone's looking at bloody Bowen. This is the guy that you should be looking at. Is Harvey Barnes, man. He's the real deal. I'm promising you. Promise you.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see what people are saying about the Barnes, man. Barnes joining would help support his bid for his England place. Also might give Foden some competition. Exactly what I've just said. In a Liverpool squad, and he would have. He's a very disciplined player as well. He plays disciplined at Leicester, so it wouldn't destroy his game if he came in like a Carvalho or like a Curtis Jones was, because they're very swaggy, very creative.
He's probably the perfect player, really.
Yeah, but Harvey Barnes is straight down the line, routine, typical English player, physical, likes to contribute to the team. He's got assists, goals. I really like the guy, G. I'd pay big money for him, but I know a lot of people have been mad if you're paying big money for Harvey Barnes, he's not improving because he rips up the Premier League every season. I think you got to
look at him at how you would look at the other Leicester players. Obviously we know, as we said in the group, Ish said he likes Maddison, but you look at someone like Maddison who his career stalled. Now, we can use every excuse about injuries and that, but I thought all of that plays a part into you as a player. And I just think that someone like Harvey Barnes would suit our team a lot better. And I just think, you know what? Why not? Why not try and test that waters? We need, in my opinion, I feel that, we got Diaz, and I get that. Jota, he can play there, but I feel that Jota actually should just play through the middle. I think you get someone like Harvey Barnes because he could play on the right as well, potentially, if you needed him to.
Harvey Barnes definitely could play anywhere, can go into midfield. I think it'd be a great show. I don't think he's fit for a heavy press like our style. You'd see it in Leicester otherwise. I don't know. I think he's got the legs to do it. I feel like all professional footballers should be fit for the press. I'm sorry, but all professional footballers should be able to run. It's just a case of, do they want to run? Do you know what I mean? So, Right, let's move on anyway, G. We'll move on to the next one. Remember, keep dropping your opinions. We appreciate it.
So we've had Elise one. So go on, Elise or...
Let me run through them, what we've had so far. We've had Neto versus Elise. Elise came out on top. Now we've got Elise versus Harvey Barnes. Who's going to come out on top?
Guys, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments. Are you taking Elise or are you taking Harvey Barnes? Let us know, and we will pin it up straight away. Make sure you drop it straight in there. By the way, this chat today is unbelievable. Big up every single person in the comments. Remember, you better hit that like button, or else we no like it. No like it. Do you know what I'm saying, lads? Don't like it. Don't like it. I'm going. This is a hard one.
You got to think. You got to use your brain in this one. Use your brain. I know I'm going to choose them.
Elise or Harvey Barnes, bro. Wow.
Don't just go with the one that you like. Go with the one that you think would actually be a better fit, as well as the one that you like.
Don't you? So basically, do you know what G did then? G's 100% trying to convince me to say Elise. That's exactly what he's doing, because
listen, you're a big man now. You say whoever you want to say. I'm not going to tell you to do anything. You're a big man now.
If I'm in charge of this transfer business right now, I'm signing Harvey Barnes over Elise. I think he's a better fit than Bowen is for Liverpool. I think he'd be perfect for Liverpool. I love Elise though. What a baller! But yeah, I've got to go Harvey. Who are you going with, G?
Elise. It wasn't even up for debate, mate. It was always going to be Elise.
Going for Elise.
Because James knows. James knows.
I feel like everybody's waiting for us to kind of go into the midfielders, but we have got 2 more attackers left.
Don't worry,
So
guys.
far, Harvey Barnes. Oh no, it's a mix. I want everyone in the comments, if you're watching this, type in right now, who are you choosing? Harvey Barnes or Elise? We need to know because we need to decide on this. When we said Elise, you was all definitive, like going, yeah, bad boy, yeah, boom, 100%. We need that heat right now. So let us know who you're choosing. Mohamed's still going with Elise. We've got Copites together going with Barnes. It's Elise saying George.
We got another Elise in the building.
Okay, do you know what?
Guys,
it's cropping over. We've got
hold
another
on, guys, in the comments.
It's so far, it's 4-3. It's 4-3 to Elise at the minute. We're going to leave this open for another 30 seconds. Have your vote. Vote for Elise or Barnes to come into Liverpool. If you've just joined and you're like, who the hell are Elise and Barnes? We're not on about Johnny Barnes. I'll tell you who we're on about. We're on about Michel Elise or Harvey Barnes. Which one would you bring into Liverpool? It's 4-3 at the minute to G. For Elise, I voted for Barnes. Let's look who you are going for. There's 3 more comments flying in. Get both, says George. Stop being greedy.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Elise says Connor Scarra. Elise says Dean Grealish. G. Elise wins, bro. You've got this one. So Elise's up so far. Elise's top of the shop, top of the list so far. That's fine. I should have looked on Instagram and had a look who people are saying on Instagram. Cammy's saying Elise. Mark is saying Elise. Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm ending the show. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, people. And that is Kloppzone. No, I'm joking. Right. Elise is winning so far. Let's move on to the next ones. These are good. I don't know who to leave to last. Do you know what? I know who to leave to last. I know who to leave. Next one. Martin Terrier. I think that's how you say it. French. Martin Terrier. So
you're gonna have to talk to me about him. I'm gonna
talk to you. Yeah, because you were unsure. This was kind of my little pick, weren't it? This was my little pick. Terrier, right, turned up the French league last season. Liverpool were linked with him at the beginning of this summer, towards the back end of last season. Can play right wing. That's why I like him, but he can play across the front 3. Top 10 in assists, top 10 in goals, I think he was in the French league last season. Very reasonable price. Like, nobody's not on anybody's radar. So, like, left wing, right wing, 22.5 million. We could get him for less than that as well, G, you know? Yeah, I really think we can go in and get him for less than 22.5. Let me tell you, for those people that don't know who he is, who he plays a little bit like. Obvious comparison would be Perez, because Perez, the French connection kind of thing, but he's more techie, not more techie, he's more physical, bit faster, got a bit more pace than Perez. He moves a little bit like Juan Mata. Like, is that kind of in-between player. You could see him maybe drop into midfield, but when he's on the attack, he's great on the counter-attack. Clinical finishing. Like, yeah, this is what I'm just looked at the comments then. George, Terrier's a killer in front of goal. For a winger, I'm telling you now, in a Liverpool side that create chances, this guy could be the perfect signing. The only problem is, for me, a little bit too methodical. And by that, what I mean is very predictable at times. Not as... But Salah's like that. If you think about it, Salah's very predictable at times. But he's got the pace. He's small, but he's got the physicality. I like this guy, G. And I know you've not seen much of him, but what are you saying about this one?
When I was when you picked him out, I went to go do the YouTube stuff as we always do. Obviously, I liked what I saw. I can understand where your comparisons are coming from as well. The thing that intrigued me the most is when you said that we could get him for less. That's where I feel that would be an FSG signing right there, because that will be someone that still very, very good as George has said, Terrier is a killer in front of goal. So, and I do feel like even when I've seen him finish, he looks like someone who knows how to finish. Do you get what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that with someone like him, maybe FSG would actually go for a deal like this instead of any of the other names that we've obviously put out, if I'm being honest with you. 31 goals, 15 assists in 86 games. Copperties together, just put that up there. Thank you very much. Yeah, he might be a FSG signing, I'll be honest with you.
It's an under the radar as well, isn't it? That's why we've put it in there. I've put it
I
in
would
there
get
because,
him and someone else.
Yeah, because nobody's thinking about him. Liverpool always do that. Nobody's thinking about them, and then all of a sudden they're announced, and it's like, whoa, where's this guy come from? Because he can actually play. Terrier fits that mold for me. Again, comparing him to Elise AG, we need everyone in the comments to kind of give us their opinion again. Let me just pop this up. Copites together. Big up yourself. Like, this is unbelievable. This is why our followers, our subscribers are the best. Copites together here has said he's managed a goal in 3 games so far, which is a nice little return. But this is why Copites together and our followers are just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Look at this. 31 goals and 15 assists in 86 games for Stade Rennais. That is, for a winger, for that team as well, that's, what a return that is. Imagine him in the Liverpool kit.
So what's that? 31, 46. Yeah, 46. So you're looking at 46
goals. So he's contributing to a goal every 2 games, basically.
Effectively, yeah. And this is what I'm saying. So again, when you look at, you know what? That would be a typical signing that we would make. Someone that you weren't even thinking about at all, but you've now had to YouTube the hell out of him because we've just signed him, from Stade Rennais. So again, I'm not going to say no, if I'm being totally honest with you. 17 goals and 77, decent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no, but what do you guys think in the comments?
Do you know what this guy is to me? He's a guy that I'd go for on FIFA. Do you know when you're playing FIFA in career mode, and you're like, right, I want to be clever here. I want to get a name no one's heard of, and I'm just going to play them every game and turn them into this world-class player just so I can prove I'm the good man. Like, this is the guy I would go for because fast, physical, can score a goal. I think he'd be a great fit for Liverpool. Everyone in the comments, let us know. While we pin this comment up from Ellis, who's the secret scout in the building, let us know who you're going for. Are you going for Elise or Martin Terrier? Martin Terrier, if you want to do it in English. Who are you going for? Elise or Martin Terrier? No likey, no likey. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Harvey Barnes is back in the building. I'll take that.
No, we're done with Harvey Barnes now. We're done with that.
Harvey back. Right, let's look at this one from Ellis. Like I said, while we're reading this, please leave in the comments who you would bring into Liverpool out of Elise and Martin Terrier, just in case you want to see who they are again and just jumped in. This is Elise. I shouldn't have to explain who Elise is. Mad name. This guy's a baller. And this guy, Martin Terrier from Stade Rennais, was at Lyon. Unbelievable player. So check it out. Let's get to this comment, though. I want to look at this. Ellis said, in my opinion, Ademola Lookman, I'm guessing, or is it Ademola Lookham? Ademola Lookham is a top player. Watched him live, and he was a baller. Lightning fast, and would be a cheaper option than Berg from Sheffield, and a cheap option, great depth for, and Pinner, great youngster.
Oh, Pinner, yeah, I think I know he's talking about that player.
I have not heard of this guy, G. If this is how you spell his name, Ademola Lookham, I'm thinking in my head when I look at that, I think Ademola Lookman, and I'm like, please don't be Ademola Lookman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we might not want him. I'm trying to see him, but I don't know. Unless he did mean Ademola Lookman, but I don't think so.
Ellis, confirm for us who you mean, because I'm interested in his comment, because if you mean him live, this is why I want to know, like, what's he bring to you? Because I saw you put it up earlier on as well. So I kind of need to know what we're saying. While we're waiting for Ellis to reply to that, let's look at votes, G. Here we go. Oh, G, in fact, sack the votes first. I want to know who you're picking, G.
Oh, Elise.
Elise, G's just picking Elise number. In fact, I don't know because the last one might sway G.
Yeah, I know.
So
I won't think about that one.
here we go. Let's go for the votes. Bing! 1-0 to Terrier. Bing! 1-1. Dean Grealish votes for Elise. Bing! 2-1. Connor Scarrett goes for Elise. Bing! 2-2. Terrier for the win, says Copper.
Hold on, is that not the same comment? Let me just double check.
Don't you dare come like that to me, G.
Okay, no, I'm just making sure.
2-2 so far, right? Bing! 3-2 to Elise. Come on, please. Bing! Do you know what Cop-Bites Together tried to do? Put 2 comments in. I see what you're doing, Cop-Bites Together. Yeah. Don't try and fool us. George saying Terrier, though, so that is that 3-3 or 4-4? 4-4?
3-3. Oh,
3-3. We need a deciding comment, people. Oh, Mark A, you would come and do me dirty like that just after I've said it, innit? Mark A's gone, Elise.
A smart person. Thank you, Mark A. Jesus.
Elise, do you know what? I'm going to leave it just for a minute while we get back to the... Oh, do you know what? I'm dead here. Look at this. Ping, Elise. Ping, Elise. I feel like people are just doing this on purpose. Ping, Elise. Ping, Elise. You're just doing me dirty on purpose, people. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Bogdan, I love you, Bogdan. Just remember, Bogdan, and I know you've got my back. I love you, bro. I really do. Elise wins then, that one. So we're going into the final round with Elise. But what we are saying is Ellis is saying Lookman, Adamala Lookman. It's interesting, this, because the only time I've seen Lookman was he at Fulham first? Was it Fulham? And then he went to Everton, I think.
He's been at Fulham, Everton, RB Leipzig.
And he looked like he's rapid. Don't get me wrong, he's rapid. But let's see what Ellis is saying. His creativity was brilliant and he turned City inside out. Okay, so I get that. Is he the type of player Liverpool would bring in? Is he the type of player that Liverpool would utilise? Do we utilise these fast dribbling?
You know what he's like? He'd be the sort of player. If we already had him, then you would utilise it, if that makes sense. Like if we had already had a player like this already in the squad, you would probably obviously see that a little bit more. I don't know if we'd go out and sign that at this present moment in time, though. That's the thing. But if we already had him in, let's say Elliott was exactly like Lookman, you'll be like, all right, that's, you know what I mean? You'd already have that kind of player here. You wouldn't sign that, though, because you'd be thinking, don't know if he's really the guy to get to that level. But you never know.
James says he's at Atalanta, by the way.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
There we have it.
2 games, 1 goal this season.
Yeah, you know, but he's not on my radar. But, G, you're winning so far. Elise, do you know what? I would have chose Elise over Terrier, to be honest. I'd choose Elise over him, so I'll let you have that one. Let's look then at the last one in our attacking options, the top 5 attackers. This is our last pick. And this, for me, low-key, under the radar, perfect Liverpool signing. Boom. This guy.
I know you like
Leandro Trossard. 18 million. Such a good price. Great age, 27 years of age. Getting him in his prime. We've got like 3-4 years of his prime. Plays left wing, centre forward, attacking midfielder. But, G, what we were saying when we picked him is the fact that he could play brilliantly on the right-hand side for Liverpool, I feel. I think like he's got the footballing ability to be able to do that. What are you saying, G, about the one, the only, the Brighton perfect fit for Liverpool? Just saying it so he gets picked over Elise. Leandro Trossard. Let the people know, G.
Everything you said, man. ×2, echo that. I think someone who plays very good in between the lines. Like, I don't even view him as a striker, but he'd actually do the false 9 role pretty well. Can play across again the front 3. He's got himself into the Belgium squad, which is pretty difficult to do when you consider the attackers that they've already got. So the fact that he's been able to get himself in there, playing for Brighton, by the way, Yeah, I mean, he's playing for Brighton. He's got himself into the Belgium squad, gets himself a good few amount of goals. I would sign him. I can't even lie. I would sign Trossard. I like Trossard as well. I think he's.
Okay. Do you know what you're getting with Trossard as well?
And Premier League experience.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to say. You're getting Premier League experience. You're getting someone who's played with the best players as well in a Belgium squad, don't forget. Like, he's played with elite players. He can handle the big time. He's clutch, so clutch. He always turns up for Brighton. Brighton play the same, similar style that Liverpool play. Look how easily Lallana fit into the team.
I think they're actually more of a possession team. Stats might not say that. Stats will probably say Liverpool are. Obviously, because we're Liverpool, we're gonna have that possession naturally. But Brighton, for a team who are, quite lower down in the table, I feel like they're one of those teams. That's like one of their main things, So yeah, 100% agree. 100%.
People are jumping on this one, G. We've got Abdel Salam Melad saying 1 million. Is that a million? No, it's 10 million. 10 million % baller.
You can tell we left school a long time ago, guys.
We've got Connor Scarra. You're getting cheeky for your own good, G, keeping it, G. We've got Connor Scarra saying, yes, Trossard a baller. Trossard, ban on books. I've been saying this for long. How no one in for him, I don't know. This is so true. Why is no big team picking him up? Like, why? This is a great shirt as well from Abdel Salam Melad. Trossard ripped Man United apart. Could be perfect link for Liverpool. I think he should play Cam, because we're desperate for a midfielder. Play him Cam when Jota's back. This is why we like him so much, because he's so versatile. He can play an attacking midfield role. He can play left midfield, left wing, right midfield. He's even played centre forward for Brighton. Yeah. This guy, I want to know what everyone else is saying. I want to know what everyone's saying, because I know the stream might be a little bit behind, so people are watching it and it's like catching up because it's stream live. So drop it in the comments what you're thinking. We've got to go head to head in a second. Is it going to be Elise who gets the final vote, or is it going to be Leandro Trossard? Ellis is trying to sell us Lookman, He's trying to sell us Lookman. Ellis, have you got like shares in Adamola Lookman or something? I think he's got shares in him. Would love to see Renato Sanchez playing for us. I think that ship sailed as well, G.
That's already gone, man. I think if we were going to, just like Mateus, no, not Mateus, that Newhouse, just like him, if we was going to sign him, we would have signed him already. I don't think we was even in for him anyway.
Yeah, completely agree. James is saying his involvement for the goal against United was class, so class. Do you know another player who we did debate as a midfielder was Pascal Gross as well? But Pascal Gross, his age, just didn't fit the bill in terms of what FSG would be willing to sign. 31 years of age, and he's not like gifted with physical ability. He doesn't look like he's going to go on forever.
Apparently, Everton have set their sights on Trossard.
Please don't. Please.
Apparently, yeah. I literally just typed his name in because I just want to check out how many goals he's got for Brighton. And the first thing that comes up is Everton are looking at, because obviously they're going to sell Gordon, innit?
See what I mean? We need, like scouts, like Premier League football teams, tap us up. We come as a package. We do the due diligence. We do the research. Tap us up.
Tap us up, bro. Tap us up.
Madness. Trossard. If you're Trossard, why are you going to Everton anyway? You don't go to Everton. Surely not.
To be honest with you, I would be looking at that. I don't know what it is about teams wanting to go to Everton. It must just be the history of that club, because they are so crap. Like, I would never want to go there, even as a player today.
What history are we talking about? David Moyes nearly getting 4th place. Like, what history are we talking about? Because they want to smell Anfield. Maybe they want to smell Anfield. Maybe they want to drive past a real stadium every day. Maybe that's why they might go to Everton.
Just come to Liverpool.
Yeah, Trossard, literally, come to Liverpool, bro. Trossard played as a wing back. George is saying that's so true. This is what I mean. So versatile. Ellis, Get the hell out of here. Ademola Lookman. No. I know what you're saying. We saw that comment. Lookman might not be the right fit, but I thought it was out there. Didn't know already. Moved, but look into Berger. Cheap baller. And I'm a couple of season Brightons might be a player to look at. Sander Berger, we're linked with him from Sheffield. We've been linked with him. I rate him as a footballer, but I just don't think that's the level Liverpool should be looking at. Liverpool should be looking higher than a championship player. I'm sorry. Like, we just should.
And he's been in the championship for like 2 seasons. Like, that's dead, man. I'm sorry, I don't want you.
I don't want you, boy. Stay away from my club, boy. Yeah, Philip Bidwell, Trossard, by what you're saying, sounds perfect for us. This is it, Bid. We know our stuff. I nearly called you Bidders then. I don't know why I nearly called you Bidders, but that can be your new name. Philip Bidders, that's your new name. Trossard's a perfect fit. That's what we've been saying. James, this is not Academy Radar. Why are you dropping? Why are you telling us about Balagizi in a transfer show, James? James, I'm going to block you. I'm telling you now. I'm going to block you in a minute. Don't come with that Balagizi Crawley tone. Like, I don't care what's happened in the FA Cup against Fulham between Crawley and Fulham. Balagizi, big props to you though, bro. I rate Balagizi, but we don't need to know.
James's next comment that he's put, I do like, but we'll get to that.
Ooh, James, the brain. James, I'll take it back. You're allowed in the show again because G likes it because he thinks this is going to give Elise extra ground to beat Leandro Trossard. So, James, you can't drop this. Oh, he's put the stats in as well. I was going to say you can't drop this comment and not put the stats in, but he has. How dare you? For everyone that's listening, basically, James has said Elise stats versus Oxford tonight. Elise stats versus Oxford. 3 chances created, 4 accurate crosses, 2 accurate long balls, 1 tackle won, 6 ground duels won, 1 aerial duel won, 2 clearances, 6 recoveries. Boy, tap this man up right now, G.
Bro, I don't know why we haven't got a scout already down at Oxford to go and speak to Elise and say, look, mate, come and play Champions League football. Come on, come to the big time, all right? You don't need to go and chill in South London and play with all of those cage footballers. Now forget all of that. Come to the big boys. Let's go play some real proper football, and you can do your stuff, man. I love Elise, bro. I think it's so good.
You want to roll with the big boys? Come on down, innit? Copites together is saying, I think these might be Trossard's stats. 19 goals and 11 assists in 107 games. James has just pinned up something nice for Elise for you. And now I'm reading this out for Trossard. But it's in a Brighton team, in a league where it's so difficult. Let's remember, Brighton are notorious overachievers. Yeah. They've got people holding them up. What Trossard does is he's one of those main pinnacle figures that holds them up. So, you know, I like this that's coming in. I see a rumor saying that we are linked with Paredes from PSG. This is what we were saying before. Nice little signing. Nice little player. The only thing I worry about, G, would he have what it takes physicality-wise playing in a Liverpool midfield? Because I know he's very good on the ball. He's got great awareness. I don't think he's gifted with pace. He's a very techie player. Argentinian, if I'm right. Argentinian.
He's Argentinian. You know who he reminds me of? Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa. That's what he reminds me of.
Luiz. That's a nice comparison.
Because he seems like he's just one of those. I mean, he's 28 years old. So, I don't know. But like, when I look at him play, he reminds me exactly like that type of style of player who's like a bit of a dog. He's got that, as they like to say, he's got that dog in him. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those type of players.
I need a dog sound effect.
He's quite technical.
Yeah, he's a techie. I feel like that's why I said he's the Argentinian. I know we keep going on about where the players are from. Where were they born? Because that defines someone really well as a footballer. Like, but it's true. These Argentinian central midfielders, don't be messing with them because they'll come for you. They've got the dog in them, like G said. They've got the dog in them. Marque, I'm going to bounce you out of here in a minute. No.
Hey, Marque, man. Don't worry about that, bro. Don't worry about that.
You know what? Elise is absolutely. I don't even know who I'm going to choose yet because Elise is, for me, he's screaming out just top class. I like this. Oyarzabal. I don't know how you pronounce this. I don't know if it's like Oyarzabal.
I actually don't know, I've never actually
Yeah.
heard a commentator say it. That's the worst thing
It's
about
so
it.
hard, but that's a great shout, Connor, again. We've got some real football heads in the comments tonight, G. Some real football heads who know what they're talking about. Another one from Ellis, Yusuf Mokuku from...
This guy is a guy who, if you are trying to plan for the future, if it's not him, you get Adeyemi, but he's obviously just joined Borussia Dortmund. Those two...
What are you saying about Musiala, G? What are you saying about Musiala?
Oh, Musiala. Oh, my God. If we could afford him, you get him. I would get him ahead of Bellingham because he can play so many positions and he plays give or take every position well. The guy is playing defensive midfield at Bayern Munich. Then he's playing as a false nine. Then he's playing behind the striker when Müller doesn't play. I've seen him on the left. I've seen him on the right. Bro, I'm promising you now, he's a player who can play many positions and he plays them all very well. Remember, he's playing for Bayern Munich. Like, the guy's not a bum playing for bloody, a lower league team. He's playing for Bayern Munich and he plays quite regularly there. And they've got a lot of faith in him. And I think he's going to take over from Müller full time when Müller obviously, hangs up his boots whenever that is, kind of thing. But those three, Mokuku, Adeyemi, Musiala, anybody who plays Football Manager, these guys, they're definitely the ones to go for.
Completely agree. George is saying, back on the Paredes links, he's saying he'd get Tielemans up for Paredes. We'll wait and see about that one. G. Andrad, I don't know, why do I keep saying everyone's names with like a Spanish kind of like Andrad there? It's probably just Andrad.
I was going to say.
You know what I mean? Andrad.
Well,
Andrad, right.
Yeah,
or Andrade. Some people say Andrade, maybe. Anyway, we'll just call you righty, innit? Because Philip Bidwell wants to be bidders. You can be righty, Andrad. It's that simple. Talking about Paredes, he's physical. I watched him at PSG. He's a beast. He works very hard. These South Americans. You do know them. That's what we were saying, isn't it? Like, maybe he is a nice little fit for Liverpool then. We did look at him, didn't we? When we were looking at the midfielders, we did he raised an eyebrow and I thought, maybe PSG wouldn't want to let him go. So I'm surprised. I thought, if you're PSG, you're playing him. If I'm PSG. But maybe not.
Well, you got to remember, PSG got so many players, so it's like they've got so many players for near enough every position. They've got players that you don't even know play for PSG at this moment, but are probably players you would sign. So it's like, it's such a weird club over there. I don't even know how it works.
It's such a weird club, isn't it? Right, do you know what, everyone? It's come down to that time. G, who you going? Elise or Trossard?
Elise. Guys, let us know in the comments, please. Elise or Trossard?
Do you know what? I would have still gone Harvey Barnes because I think he's just the right fit. But out of these two, because we're going with the followers, you know best. We're very diplomatic over here.
You can tell the
Elise, purely for, you got to think about age, you got to think about potential. This is the top of Trossard's game right now. Elise, the sky's the limit. So I've got to say Elise. Let us know, people, in the comments, because it's down to you. It's not down to us. We've just give you 5 players who we could get. Let us know which is the one, Elise or Trossard. We need you to be the deciding factor. While you're deciding, I'm going to pop all 5 of our top 5 attacking choices to sign before the transfer window ends, and then we'll get back to who you voted for. So let's run through number 1. No, in fact, we can't do it like that, can we, G? We've got sound effects and everything up in this building. We need to do it properly, innit? So, everyone, let me set the scene. This is the top 10 transfers who Liverpool should be signing before the window closes. Let's go in to transfers. You like that, innit? I like that, G. In first, Pedro Neto. 28.8 million, possibly 45. We know the transfer fee could rise, but great potential from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Then we have the one, the only, Mikael Olise, 19.8 million. That fee is way going to rise, but the buyback, the sell on, the potential, the sky's the limit for this guy. Olise, baller. He's in the lead so far. Then we have Leicester's very own Harvey Barnes. Gives me Wayne Rooney vibes, can play left wing, attacking midfield, central midfield. 28.8. We feel like Leicester would have our pants down, but we've got Julian Ward, so maybe we could strike a nice, juicy deal for Harvey Barnes. Then we move on to Terrier, Martin Terrier from Stade Rennais, 22.5 million. The key to this one is I think Liverpool could talk them down from that asking price. And last but not least, our top 5 attacking options, Leandro Trossard. Let's get to the comments, G. Let's see if it's Olise or if it's Trossard.
Let's go.
Let's go. So, this is interesting, G. Make sure you're still voting. It's still open for another 30 seconds. Get your voting. Olise or Leandro Trossard. Starting with bidders in the building. Bidders has gone Trossard. So it's 1-0 Trossard. Then we've got James the Brain just going against the grain, as per usual. James the Brain. He's got Olise. It's 1-1. Luke Chambers, Leandro Trossard. 2-1 to Trossard. Connor Scarrett, Olise, just about. It's 2-2 in the building. Copites together. Olise stats don't show his true class. He's gone with Olise. That's 3-2. Olise. Mohamed Al-Wahaj has gone with Olise. Like I said, he gave every big club such a hard time. We need someone who can make quick decisions, and he's so young. Olise's 5-3 up. Bogdan, Olise, it's 6-3. It's 7-3. It's game over. But there was a late showing because Andrade came back into the building. He's coming back. 7-3, 7-4. Here we go, 7-5. Miles saying Trossard. But then guess who turns up and backs you up every time?
Well done, Mark. Hey, this is why you're number 1 in the building. We're done now. It's Olise, guys. We all know we'll take Olise over all of these players. We're done.
Andrade, thank you for trying to keep my hopes and dreams alive. But yeah, Trossard. Like, this guy rubs shoulders with the best, learns from the best. He could mix it with the best.
Hey, that's cute. But the followers have chosen Olise.
I still get him. Treble Lords in the building. Olise is a diamond.
Come on,
he is. And G, I can't argue with you. Olise, let's get him up here. Let me get a comment off. Bogdan, I love you, but your comment's got to go, bro, because you know what I mean? We need to show the people who's won. The person who's got the top vote for the top 5 attacking potential signings before the window closes is Mikael Olise. Yes, I like that one. I feel like I need like a cha-ching, get Olise on board. So, G. So, G, that is the attackers. Now, we left midfielders to last because we know everyone wants to talk midfielders. So we're keeping them on the edge of the seat. So people who have just joined, people who are watching us now live from Instagram, get over to YouTube, get in the comments because everybody is involved in this chat. I'm telling you now, we don't leave one single person out. If you put your comments in there, we will get to you unless it's a really dead comment.
There's some really good names in the comment section to be like really good names, but some of them
I'm gonna pop them up, G. I'm gonna chuck them out now. But before I chuck them out, G, you tell the people who are watching this show, we're bringing them intel. We're bringing them scouting information. We're giving them breaking news. We're giving them potential signings. We're giving them the chance to play FM live on YouTube with us. How do they repay us, G?
We just ask for a like and a subscribe, guys. That's all we're asking for. Nothing too crazy. That's it. Just a like and a subscribe. That's all,
It's
bro.
easy, people. Like, subscribe.
Easy.
All you've got to do just go over to the like and subscribe. You don't
And
even
then
have
we're
to
gonna
stop
do it.
listening to us. Keep listening. You don't have to. Just do it. Just go over, like and subscribe. But while you're doing that, before we jump into the top 5 midfield potential signings, I want to talk about these guys because, woo! This guy, right? Alex Howson, great shirt. Doku is my guy, G. Doku is that guy who I watched when he was tearing up strips. I don't know if it was the World Cup, though. I don't know if there's a World Cup or if it was the Euros.
The Euros had to
I
be
don't
wherever the
know,
last
but
tournament was.
I feel like he fell off the radar in the Euros. I feel like World Cup, he was like
When was the
top
last
of
World
these
Cup?
games. The last World Cup was in 2020.
Was he
2020,
about?
wasn't it?
Then yeah, it was the last tournament that we had.
It was
Where he was
World
there.
Cup. I know the Euros were last, but it was the World Cup. I'm sure it was. Doku then, I think he was 16 years of age. He was dangerous. He
How old is he?
looked like Mane 2.0. And this is what we said. We were speaking to him when he was 16 years of age. Potential to get him into Liverpool, to learn under Mane, to get him in. That didn't materialize. But do you think there's still potential there? I know he's been like plagued a little bit with an injury as well. So maybe it's not a good shirt.
That's what I was thinking. The World Cup was 2018. Was he around back then though? He might have been,
Was it
I do
2018
remember.
the World Cup?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I'm just going by the comments. Someone said World Cup was 2018. Euro 2020. That's correct. Because the Euro's in 2021.
Yeah, Euros was meant to be 20. Yeah, that's the one. You're right.
Doku. Yeah, I do think he's a bit raw. I like him, but I look at someone like Elise and say he's a better player. So I'd rather even just have Elise than Doku. I think Doku's okay, but I just think his skill set looks so raw. It is like Mane, but I need a bit more of a panache with it, just a little bit more.
Just a little panache, a little pizzazz. Do you know what? I think this is the one that you wanted me to pull up in the comments again from Ellis38. George is saying the same thing. Benjamin Sesko. Great youngster this year. 3 goals and assists in 5. Overall 9 in 30. Still young and shouldn't be too pricey. This should be another good option, wouldn't it, G? Like, there's so many out there. This is why it frustrates me because, Klopp, you're lying to us because there's options.
But this is why we have to ask before we go into the midfield. We have to ask, like, what are you looking for? Because I could give you a list, and think about the list, guys. We haven't mentioned Neymar or Mbappe or Gnabry or Sane. Like, we've literally even gone lower than that, and we've still been able to. And we had more names available. We just picked that 5 just because we didn't want to go pick 100 names. But these are the kind of questions that we have to start asking our recruitment. People like to talk about our recruitment. The way I look at our recruitment is that we are good at picking up players who are on the trajectory. I wouldn't go as far as to say that we are good at finding good players because these are players that everybody knows. It's Diaz, everybody knew him. Van Dijk, everybody knew. Mane, everybody knew. Salah, everybody knew. Jota might be the only one where you're like, I didn't think he'd be this good. The rest, they were all on that upward trajectory anyway. So when people talk about the recruitment, I'm like, yeah, because these players need to go to a bigger club to progress their own career. So they would have gone. They were going to go to a big club regardless. So when we talk about the recruitment, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm hearing these things about not finding the right player and this, that, and the other. That just tells me that you are so stuck in your ways that you're not even willing to look elsewhere. So that's more on Klopp than anything else, to be honest. But that's
so true. That's for another day. Treble Lords is saying 100% baller. Like, such a baller. This is interesting as well from Andrade again. Righty. You know the confusion we had before. Isco and Dybala were free agents. Why did we never go for one of those guys, G? Why? See what Dybala is doing at Roma.
This is what I'm saying. And again, what type of player do we want? Isco sounds like a great player who can play football. He reminds me of he reminds me of a player who he might turn into like a moderate when he's older. Not obviously that level, but like in terms of just being that good at that age, just because he's that age kind of thing. But he's a bit old, so maybe not Isco, but Dybala. Why are we not signing him? Because I know for a fact I'm having Dybala over Firmino in my attack, boy. Not even asking any questions. Firmino has to ride the bench like everybody else.
No
So
question. What do you think, though? Do you think it's a case of we look at some of these players and we actually took into consideration wages as well? Because that's a big thing for FSG.
yeah.
Someone like Isco, someone like Dybala, they're going to command big wages, in it.
It's you got to remember it's because of how our wage bill is set as well. I think O mentioned this on the weekly drip, guys. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. Like the way our wage bill is set, because you guys were talking about where we are in the table, and I was saying that we're third, and I was like, yeah, because everybody's like on the same wage, like not the same, obviously, but we're all in and around each other. There is no real disparity apart from Salah, obviously now. And even then, the next guy I think is Van Dijk, and it's not. He's probably the next biggest gap. But after Van Dijk to everybody else, the gap isn't so big. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like it's not massive. Whereas at other clubs, you'll get like a 400k guy, you got a 150k guy, you got a 100 guy, you got a 90 guy. Like there's such a big like variety of wages at so many different other clubs that with us we wouldn't want a guy on 300 because it'll be like. If he's on 300, first of all, that's just a bit lower than Salah. So he has to be on Salah's level. And if he's not, that doesn't align with what we kind of believe in. So it's tricky, though. It's tricky.
It is tricky. Luke Chambers saying, okay, at least he has future potential. That's what we're saying. Seko Fofana isn't talked about enough. So true. These are proper players. This is one that you'll like, G. Atal and Jacob Ramsey, cheap quality, played high level of football and high potential. For those of you that are just jumping in and have just joined, we're going to get to in a second the top 5 choices that we've come up with that Liverpool could approach before the transfer window closes in midfield. We've already done the top 5 attackers. We're looking at midfielders next, who we could approach. But Jacob Ramsey, he's not on our list, but potential youngster. Is he more proven than Elliott and Curtis Jones? Would Elliott and Curtis Jones do a better job than Ramsey in the Villa team? That's the debate that I've got in my head.
Yeah, he's definitely better because he's played at a higher level for a lot longer. Got a good amount of experience in him. Even his style of play, he reminds me more of, which is funny, I would say he reminds me more of like a Steven Gerrard than a Jude Bellingham does, if I'm being totally honest with you. I don't think Villa would let him go for cheap, though. That would be, people, you're saying cheap. I don't see him being cheap. Unless he's in like his last year of his deal or something. I think that guy's going to cost you upwards of 50 million. So I wouldn't want to necessarily spend that much on him, to be honest with you. Atal's decent. Atal's decent. Plays for Nice.
I feel like everybody's itching, G, to see our 5. We've got so many people in the building. I cannot believe it. The chat is popping off. We appreciate it so much. If you've not liked, look yourself in the eyes, look yourself in the mirror, and say why.
Check the line. Let's check.
Say why, because G's checking up on you now. We know how many people have passed through this building. So G's checking up on you. Slap the like, subscribe, because we're bringing shows like this every goddamn day, boy. Let's have a look. Benjamin Sesko again. Should Liverpool sign Coquelin? Nope. Sorry, lads, but I'm sorry. Like, I ain't having no Arsenal hand-me-downs. It's not happening, G. This can't happen in my lifetime. World Cup was in 2018. Thank you very much. Euros was 2021. This is why I got confused, because we did 2021. I was like, I got confused with that one. Whoa, there's so many comments. I cannot believe it. Let's find, are the wages really a big problem, though, if we sign them for free? I get what you're saying, because it does balance out. It does balance out. Bogdan, get away with this. Lukaku was available. Nobody wants Lukaku dusting up Liverpool's pitch. We don't need it. Anfield report, though, feel like we shouldn't sign players like Tyrone Mitchell, Eze, Paqueta, Fekir, Rodrigo. Would you agree with that one, G? Like, there's
Shouldn't.
players on there I know you like, and he's saying we shouldn't get them.
The only one on there who definitely should be taken off, if he's saying that we shouldn't sign them, Eze would walk into this team and with his eyes closed without even using a walking stick. No disrespect to anybody who's like Eze, are you crazy? Eze is one of the, like, if you watch Eze play, oh my day, he's exactly what we're crying out for. A ball carrier who can play in between the lines, who can keep the ball, but also push up and get back at the same time. I saw enough in that one performance against us the other day, but I've watched Eze since he was at QPR, to be honest with you. And Eze is a baller, 100%, man. 100%.
100%. When you hear that song, that's the seal of approval. That's like, correct. That is the seal of approval. I agree. Eze, straight baller for me. So I'm with G on that one. Let's look at some more of the comments. Before we jump into our top 5, again, we're going to jump in there. G, someone may be on our wavelength here, but we're not going to say anything. But Miles, if you're in the building, stay tuned because you might be happy when we pop our list up in a little bit. I know it's impossible, but 2 best attackers for us would be Chiesa and Felix. Yeah. Again, these Obvious. 2 would imagine one of these 2, like, that's the dream, Bogdan. That's the dream. But we're trying to be realistic in the building tonight. So, yeah, we'll kind of stick with what we've got. Sean Dock is saying, don't think we're going to sign anyone, to be honest. Owners still have this buy-to-sell business. Sean, you're my type of guy. Sean's my type of guy, G, because he knows. He understands the FSG model, innit? Do you think we're actually going to sign someone if we don't sell Naby Keita?
No. And I was just about to say, like, I don't think we're actually going to sign any of these players. These are just players I wish that we would, we would sign. And you know what worries me the most? If we don't sell Naby Keita, for example, and we keep him, and we let Naby Keita, James Milner, and Oxlade-Chamberlain go next season, because that's when their contract runs out. How does that work? Because we are a sell-to-buy model. So if we let 3 players go for free, how do we sign anybody? That makes me then wonder. That means you're never going to get a Jude Bellingham. Because how can you afford a Jude Bellingham when you are crying at paying that money for Nunes? Like, literally crying about it. So these are the things, guys, you got to see with your own 2 eyes, and you notice these things after a while. Like, how does this even work? How does this even work?
Maybe they're thinking, like, you're paying Ox 120k a week, right?
Yeah.
If you sign Ox for, say, another year or 2 years, because he's only 28, I think, Ox. So maybe you'd end up giving him a 2-3 year contract. That probably works out in, no, please don't, by the way. Alex in Wonderland needs to go to Alex in Wonderland. Like, literally, jump in a Disney film, do some TikTok, even feature on your missus' next album. Just please don't don't lace the boots for us again. Because, do you know what? I'm saying it for you, Alex, because we want to say bye in peace. We want to say bye and thank you. And second of all, bro, you want to be able to walk your child down the aisle. If you carry on playing football, Ox, you'll have no hamstrings left. You'll be zipping down the aisle. Do you know what I mean, G? So Oxlade-Chamberlain, like, come on. It's time. It's really time. I like this one, though. We should go for Premier League proven players. Tielemans, Caicedo are 2 I'm interested in, and are good replacements for the midfield options. I like that one. That is a great shirt. Do you know what? Stay tuned for that one, actually. Stay tuned for that one, because you'll enjoy it as well, Tom Braun. You will enjoy it. What we're going to do when G comes back in the building, we're going to jump into our picks. A lot of people are saying Jude Bellingham. Do you know what? It's so true. And I want to pin this up. Fayaz, appreciate you being in the comments. Like, Jude Bellingham is great. He is a good fit for us. Perfect fit for anybody, because Bellingham's the type of player that can play in any team, in any position in midfield. He'd fit into any squad. He's that good of a player. I feel like it would be detrimental to Bellingham joining this Liverpool team, because we don't play to his strengths. And that's what I worry about. He'd be great in our team, don't get me wrong. He'd be a sensation. But I just think for Bellingham, I'm being honest, as a footballer, I might look at Liverpool and think, maybe they're not going to play my style of football. That Premier League proven comment, though, G, is that
Yep.
what ideally right now, up until the end of the window, ideally what we should be looking for? Premier League proven, hit the ground running, come straight in, do a job. When players come back from injury, then they may rotate back in. Or are you looking right, long term and short term, someone who can come in now, do a job, but they're going to develop as they play as well?
Yeah, man. I don't really believe in this short-term crap. Like, I don't really, him being Premier League proven doesn't really play that much of a part in my head, to be honest with you, because there's so many players outside of the Premier League. So I feel like someone like Elise, even a Trossard, I would have over, say, Terrier. You get what I mean? Just purely because even though Terrier might actually be better, I would prefer to have these kind of players in as opposed to, do you know what I mean? Just because I just feel that like maybe now, you know what, I'm rethinking that actually. I'm rethinking that only because of the situation that we're in. So I had to stop short for a minute.
You
Depending
hit
on
the
the
brakes,
position.
didn't it? You had to. Do you know what G just had to do? He had to do the famous one. It's the one we always do here on Kloppzone. He had to do the rewind. Rewind. Go on, G. Say it again.
Yeah, so I probably would right now go with Premier League proven, but it would have to be someone like an Elise, someone who's still young enough to develop. But I wouldn't then choose a Trossard, for example, in that situation. If I had to pick between the two players, as much as Trossard's older, more experienced in the Premier League, Elise, he's got that ceiling, man. You can just see it. You can just see it.
Do you know what?
Bellingham.
Before I put it up, Luke Chambers is saying, give Sean that ping. He said pink, but he meant ping. He's spot on. G, this comment, it needs one, doesn't it? It needs a ping. You heard of Fenway. We came not to pay. YouTube and podcast. That was me. These owners have lacked proper commitment in terms of investment. This is where we are at right now. And we don't know, though, Sean, whether it's Klopp or whether it's FSG. Because let me tell the listeners right now what is happening at Liverpool. Because we've got it from good sources that Klopp has names on the table. FSG are willing to go out and buy these names. There are names out there that they can go and approach, midfield signings that FSG are willing to purchase right now. But Klopp and Julian Ward are adamant that they want one guy, and that guy is Jude Bellingham. They're wanting to wait till next summer to get Jude Bellingham. Now, there's two problems for me with that one. Are you just writing off our season then, Klopp? Are you not wanting anything this season? And second of all, why the hell can't we get someone now and Jude Bellingham in the summer? And third of all, G, if we don't finish top four, what's Jude Bellingham going to think?
The fact that we put all our eggs into one basket is amazing for me. I generally find that amazing. Like, I've said this a million times and I'll keep saying it. You're not signing Lionel Messi. You're not signing Cristiano Ronaldo. You're not signing Kylian Mbappe. You're not signing Haaland. That is the echelon of player that you wait for. And that's it. There's about 4 players. Lewandowski, sorry, being another one. Would even do it for Benzema, to be honest with you. Like, that's the echelon of players that you're looking at. Now, Bellingham is a fantastic player, but we have to remember what Bellingham is going to do in Liverpool setup. We're not getting the same Bellingham that you guys have seen on TV for Dortmund and for England. No. Don't worry about that. That Bellingham will leave the second he walks through the door at Liverpool. We're never going to see that Bellingham again. So please get that out of your heads and stop thinking that we're going to sign that Bellingham. That Bellingham's not coming here. We're getting a whole different, type of player. And I just think that what Sean was saying about this investment stuff, man, like I said, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, top clubs who are aiming to try and win something every single season, continuously improve their squad. We've had near enough the same players since 2000. And technically speaking, James Milner joined in 2016. So again, we've had these players for well over 6-7 years. Some of these players, so recruitment. I've never heard of it at this club. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, that's the right one. Do you know what? Before we jump in, because everyone is waiting for us to jump into these top 5 midfielders,
Right, let's do it.
so we will jump into these top 5. But before we do that, I just want to give a shout out to Andrad as well, because he's come up with a good comment here. Further down, I think Marquez said we need to get rid of the dead wood at Liverpool, and Andrad is saying, I think right now we should swap Keita plus cash for Bellingham, like in a player plus cash deal. Why would that not work? Because Naby Keita, you could say Naby's worth 40 million maybe to someone. I could say that. Like, say, yeah, we cut our losses, 40 million, he's still young, still can perform at that level in the Bundesliga, less intensity, creative. He's proven to bang goals in for fun. That could be the perfect swap deal.
Bro, that description made it seem like we should keep him. You're making him sound way too good. That's not the guy you're gonna get. But yes, I understand that the bow that you're putting.
That could be that's the Bundesliga Keita. That's the Keita that we signed.
Yeah.
And now, right, before we move on, everyone who is watching this show, and I'm talking all of you, subscribe, hit like. That's all you've got to do. Everyone who's tuning in from Instagram, get over to YouTube, join the chat, put your comments in there, and we'll throw them up because there's so much fun going on. This is an example of a comment. It's a circus at Liverpool. That's what Marquez is saying. Bellingham, he won't even be joining us. What are we doing? Why are we wasting our breath, G, on Jude Bellingham right now? And Marquez, again, there's no winning mentality. Players only leave if they want to. What is that? It's so
we keep
true.
Playing here for so long, man, and I know I hate it. I do hate it, to be fair, because I keep going on about it. But you look at Manchester City, bro. Vincent Kompany, Sergio Aguero, David Silva. That's just 3 of their all-time players, like their best players in their history, bro. They let them go. We ain't keeping you past these ages. Why would you keep a 37-year-old Kompany? Or, Aguero, obviously, unfortunately, with his condition and everything like that. So that could have happened at Manchester City. So fair enough. David Silva, he's still playing at Real Sociedad. Like, guys, we need, not you guys, but Liverpool need to stop this crap where to be honest, when a player gets to 30, unless you're elite like Salah and Van Dijk, where you keep yourself in good nick, I'm looking to sell you soon, man. Like, you're not of any use to me anymore. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel like you're going to be of use. You've got like a year left at your best ability. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And then outside of that, you're looking at players like Modric, the Pirlos, the Iniestas. Look at the names that I'm naming. Only those guys play till late. Do you get what I mean? So we need to scratch that.
It's time, G.
Let's do it.
It's time to jump in to our top 5 midfield signing. You know what we need for it? We need a rub. Let's go into it. Top 5 midfield potential signings for Liverpool. Again, like we said before, people have just joined. It's realistic signings. We're not going Bellingham. We're not going Barella. We're not getting these players. We're talking realistic. So let's jump in with the first one. One that a lot of people have been saying, one that's a name on everybody's lips while G looks for his charger. He thinks I don't know what he's doing. He's definitely looking for his charger because he jumped on and he was like, yeah, I'll be good. I've got enough charge. I've got like...
No, do you know what it is? It's a bloody... I'm going to... A spider just came in. I said, forget that.
Right. No, bro. You're a bigger man than me because if a spider came in here, bro, I'm sorry, people. End of life.
Bro, you're lucky that I didn't just turn off the whole live for everyone to see. Like, the spider was... If I show you the spider, you're going to be like, nah, this spider was actually big. I'll show you in a minute.
Do you know what? Everyone, like, G regularly sends me pictures of these big-ass spiders. Like... I think he's in that. Have you seen that film, like Arachnid or whatever it's called, or Eight-Legged Freaks? G's living somewhere strange, but I feel like G's in Australia or something now with these big ass man-eating spiders.
These spiders are huge. Like, I'm even scared to, even though I've killed it, I'm even looking back just to make sure that his brother isn't coming around the corner or something.
Bro, I do that
Like,
all the time.
yo, guys, I don't care what anybody says. I'm a big 30-year-old man. There is no way I'm dealing with no spiders. Let's go.
It's true. I always think, right, like his family's going to be missing him now. What if there's some big ass? What if he was the baby? Do you know what I mean? And some
Bro, if
big
he's
ass
the
thing comes
baby,
knocking on my door. No, thank you. Right, let's get to this part anyway. This show is all about top 10 realistic transfers. That might give away the next guy, but let's jump in to who next. Up first in our top 5 midfield potential signings. I think we've put this one on here because Leicester have come out today and said they would be willing to listen to offers around £16 million for Yuri Tielemans. Someone we were linked with last season, someone that everybody has been interested in. His standard has dropped, but it's because he wants away. That's 100% fact. Tielemans, techie player, box to box, scores goals, can be physical, really good on the ball. I feel like Tielemans, everybody would be happy with this, but everyone in the comments, let us know while I go to G. G, what are you saying about this guy? Yuri Tielemans, 16 million as well.
First and foremost, bidders, I am a baby. Yes, I am a baby. I don't like the spiders. I don't want to see spiders. Like, I'm even looking at it now. I'm pretty sure I just saw his leg move, even though his leg. But well, cool. Anyways, Tielemans, great guy. 16 million. 16 million. Obviously, that's been the reported price. Obviously, at the moment, if I'm being honest with you, that's a no-brainer, bro. That is a no-brainer. Premier League experience, Champions League experience, international experience. Been playing Champions League since the age of about 16, 17. I wish I was Spider-Man. He's now obviously gotten into the Belgium team, and you know what? He was in the Belgium setup, and I think that where Leicester have just kind of gone through a bit of a decline, so to speak, you know, with everything that's kind of going on, I genuinely believe that as much as he might not be at his best, we might be the type of club that he goes to, and it might just revitalize, you know, him as a player and his skill set. He is, in my opinion, what Oxlade-Chamberlain should have been. Someone who can shoot from outside the damn box, but a bit more consistently than an Oxlade-Chamberlain. And he doesn't get injured as much as an Oxlade-Chamberlain. So 16 million, Liverpool, pull your finger out your asses and get it done. If I see Arsenal sign this guy, I will be very pissed off. Very pissed
This is what it is like. 16 million for Tielemans as well. Leicester have come out and said, like, look, 16 million, come and take him. Get in there and get him, because quality and depth, even if you don't think he starts, that is such good quality and depth. Yuri Tielemans, come on, people. It's a no-brainer. An absolute no-brainer. G, one of your favourites, is back in the building. Hello again. I just came from Hassam's channel to laugh at Liverpool some more. Do you know what? This is a nice one.
We're talking about Liverpool, though. Yeah.
We're talking about potential signings. No negative. Hassan, don't bring that Chelsea negativity over here. We don't want any of it. Like, keep your Blue Lion Raw to yourself tonight. You can join in the transfer chat, but apart from that, we can laugh at you because, yes, we're getting Gordon for 60 million. That is a disgrace, by the way. Chelsea, look at yourselves in the mirror.
Embarrassing. Gordon for 60 million. Like, you have Hudson-Odoi who does the same thing. Like, why not just keep Hudson-Odoi? I don't know.
100%. Sean Dock again. Sean Dock, appreciate some great comments as well flying in from Sean Dock. Not transfer related, but some really good discussion going on in the chat. So please get involved in the chat with each other, discuss with each other. So great discussion. But Sean Dock is saying Rodgers might do us a favour. Please, Rodgers. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that is Rodgers. I feel like Rodgers has come out and gone, right, Liverpool need a midfielder. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm just going to dangle this 16, by the way, not 60, 16 million.
You know,
Tielemans.
Liverpool, we're the type of club, yeah. We'll see 16 million, and we all sit here and say, "Get it done, do it, do it, do it, do it." It's chicken change. Don't worry about it. I feel like Liverpool, the kind of club we might be like, we'll give you 12 and 4 in add-ons. Like, just get the flipping deal
Please.
done. Like, don't
Do
do
you know
that.
what
Like,
I
just
mean?
get the deal done. Like, but that's something
It's
we would
like
do,
Man
though.
City, innit?
Yeah.
Man City with Grealish just went, do you know what? Here's 100 million, bang, done.
Exactly.
Here's Haaland's release clause, boom, done. Like, just do it.
Do it.
16
Like,
million. Chicken change for Liverpool, as G says. Chicken change. I like that one. That's one of my favourites, chicken change. Tielemans is far better than what we have, says Mark A. Completely agree. George saying he fits our style. Assad's already said hello again. Sean, great character. How much is Maddison? Says Alex Holst.
no.
I like Maddison.
No.
I like Maddison. Get them both. Get them both, Sean Dock. Tielemans and Maddison. Do you know what? That's how bad it is. So bad in decline. Leicester's midfield is better than Liverpool's at the minute.
That's a fact.
Tell me it's not. Exactly. So that's a fact. So 16 million saying Bogdan, that's a gift for us. 16 million is a joke for him, says Miles. Completely agree.
Guys, remember, we know what FSG is like. They will offer you 12 million and say we'll give you 4. And I bet you, if we go in for Tielemans, I'll put any money. We do not put the actual bid in. I promise you, we'll go lower and try and add a little bit after. And you know what the add-ons will be? It'll be like Liverpool to win the league or Tielemans to get Ballon d'Or or something. You know, something just stupid. You just think, what? How's this gonna happen?
Like, what is going on? Mark A agrees with you. We haggle to 10 million to save money. Like, why do we do this? It's so true. Liverpool are just so cheap, man. So shady. Liverpool do you know, like when you've got those people who they've got money, but they'll go into a charity shop and something's like £1. Like this nice designer jacket for £1. G's still checking out the spiders, by the way.
Bro, nice. I promise you it's moving. I'm promising you that this spider is moving. I promise.
Nice designer jacket for £1, and they'll go, I tell you what, I'll give you 30p. Bro, stop being cheap and give me £1. Like, literally just do it. Oh my goodness. Let's look at some more of these comments. Alex, for Maddison, they want over 60 million.
Maddison is a very overrated English player who doesn't really offer you that much in a system-based team. He's one of those players that you need to. He needs like the reign of England before he can really do anything. Trust me, he's not that good.
Tom Bronze agreeing with you. Maddison 50 mil plus. I think he's not worth it. Do you know what? It's one of those. It's a risk again. But Luke Chambers is saying Elise and Thiago when he's fit. Like imagine those two together. Wow. When you're looking at Elise, when you're looking at Elise as well for about the same price as Maddison, it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? No-brainer. Bogdan saying, ask LeBron for money. It's that simple. Like, come on, LeBron. Cough it up, bro. You got stakes.
I'll message him, bro. I'll message him. I'll give him a shot.
You got stakes. Do it. This is Sean Dock. I love you, bro. Come back again, please, because you're so true. I feel like Sean Dock's one of us, G. I feel like he's actually like one of us. He knows what's going on at the club.
Him and Mark A and RJ, they're on like the same wavelength. I can feel it.
Same wavelength. Sean Dock is saying FSG will sell 3 players to bring in 1 player.
You know,
it's happened this summer. It's happened already.
What did I just say before? We're gonna let go of Ox. We're gonna let go of Keita. We're gonna let go of Milner next season. I guarantee we only sign 1 player in that position, bro. And you know what's gonna happen?
We're laughing, G. Minamino, Origi, Sadio Mane, Nunes comes in. 3 for 1.
But you know what they'll tell you though? Diaz was the signing all along for Mane, as we keep being told by the in the nose, you know. But who am I?
You know what I mean? Gini Wijnaldum, Grujic, Shaqiri, Lallana. Who comes in? Carvalho.
Let's get into this.
It's so true. It's so true. Let's carry away because we need to start having those battles. Let's get into the next player. So the first player on the list was Yuri Tielemans, 16 million. let's move on to the next one. This is a name that's been on a few people's lips as well during this show. This guy, G. Ibrahim Sangare. Oh my days. This guy's a beast, by the way. This guy is like Momo Sissoko Mark II. Remember Momo, G? Momo was my guy at Liverpool.
Nah, he was my guy.
21.6 million at PSV. Defensive midfield, can play central midfield. We're talking about someone who does everything here, aren't we, G, with this guy? Like, woo! Even the name, Ibrahim Sangare. Whoa, get up, man. Into my club.
He does remind me, he does give me shades of Momo. He does give me a lot of shades of Momo. Cheap option as well, if I'm being honest. I don't think he'd cost that much. Like, in today's market, I don't, under 40 million easily, I think. I'm going to say this for every name you're going to put anyway. Why don't we sign him? Do you know what I mean? Like, he can be a box-to-box midfielder, but he's also, and there was another name that I did think of in that mold was Ndidi. He's another one. They're both quite similar, but I feel like with Sangare, he's a little bit more defensive than just a little bit, like literally than an Ndidi, even though Ndidi can play centre-back as well. I just think with someone like Sangare, man, that's a signing where he signed a contract renewal. Oh, there you go. If he signed a contract renewal,
that doesn't really mean anything. I know maybe would have got him a bit cheaper, but still, we're still looking 40 million. Like, you're gonna snap our hands off of that, especially a PSV.
100% PSV, and there's actually, sorry to go back on the attackers, but they've got another attacker at PSV. He's an English winger. Someone's gonna have to help me out with his name, or I'll try and find it. But like PSV, they do churn out quite a few players. Isn't Gakpo, Ruud van Nistelrooy the manager over there? So again, these are the type of players. Madueke,
Noni Madueke, yeah.
Him, him, Gakpo, Sangare. 3 players, I would go like that straight away. Add quality in depth, but also, which is always the main thing, future. All of these players are relatively young. So we're buying them for the here and now, which is fantastic, but then fits the FSG model of, for the future. And when we're saying like some of these, I'm just making sure, when you say like some of these names, remember, look at these names that we're calling out. It's like, we're talking about Elise, Madueke, Gakpo, like these are young players, but these are players of a certain standard. Like, they're already relatively there. They just need that bigger club to just, see if they can make that push to the next level. So we're not even talking about, and again, no disrespect, but we're not talking about Jones and Elliott. Like, we're talking about guys who are young, but who are already at those kind of levels where they're not even going to look out of place if they come into a squad, as opposed to players like your Elliott's, your Joneses, and a little bit like Carvalho, even though I think Carvalho will make that leap to the next stage. So, yeah.
I want to say a massive big up here to Tom Bron, because, again, our followers, amazing, doing amazing things. Our subscribers, like, bringing more depth to what we're talking about. This is why we've come across to YouTube. This is why we do shows like this, because we want your voice to be heard. You add to the conversation. We don't come here going, we know everything. We've been there before. We've not. We owe a lot to you. So this is why we do these shows, because we want you to come across and give us this extra information, because we're not from the Netherlands. Tom Bron is. And guess who he's seen, G? Sangare. And guess what they did, G? They gave him a lot of criticism. He wasn't good on the ball. But this season, it started off and he's turned into a beast. Now, this is the type of thing that Liverpool love. Raw, uncut diamonds. Someone who, he's not good on the ball, but physically he's dominant. He's got so many traits, but he's willing to work hard and get better. This is just Liverpool all over. But Sean Dock, the disrespect, by the way, on Sangare. As for Bellingham,
TT Camera.
TT was I'm not going to lie, TT was my guy. TT Camera used to have the flair, the tricks. Do you know why it was, right?
His name was my guy.
I love JJ Okocha, right? And he came around at the similar time as JJ Kocher. And when he came into the team, do you know who else was around just before that time as well? I used to love Fatino Asprilla from Newcastle.
Those type of players, yeah, I get you.
Those type of players who will just like flick the ball over your head and start doing a madness. TT Camera, big shout out to my bald-headed brother because TT Camera, yeah, I liked TT. He was one I loved. Tom Brown as well saying his long passing's great, but he's an anchor. He's a perfect stand-in for Fabinho. Exactly what we need as well. But what people need to do, G, they need to vote, don't they? Like we've been doing the whole time. And yes, Ellis, you can see him, can't you? He's on edge. He's on edge, G.
But guys, I don't need to lie. I don't need to lie. I do not like spiders. If
do
anyone,
you know what?
No violence.
Let's turn this, G. Let's turn it into a pantomime. Everyone, if you see a spider behind you, let him know it's behind you.
These guys are snakes. They'll be the first ones to wait for it to go into my head, into my ear, and then let me know, guys. Hey.
Literally. Luke Chambers, we love you too, bro. We appreciate this. Please subscribe so you know when we're coming live. That's why we asked you to do it, because we want to read your comments out. We want to engage with you. We bring you so many shows. It's not just this. I'm telling you now, and I'm not just bigging up the channel. G, every show we do is completely different, isn't it? Like, we don't just regurgitate the same stuff. It's so different. We cover the men's, the women's, the academy, like everything, G. Everything.
Nah, 100%, man. And I think that's what we've got a lot coming. We've got a lot coming. We don't want to say too much, you know. We've got to leave them wanting a bit more. Do you know what I mean? But we've got so many things, so many different shows that are currently out. Let's have some fun, man. Let's have some fun. Make sure you hit that like.
Your boa, woo! Your boa was my guy as well. You've got some knowledge as well, Sean Doc. We like you. We like you, Sean Doc. James is saying, hit subscribe, hit follow. Thank you so much. Let's vote anyway, because the voting started already with Connor Scarrett. It's a vote between these two players so far. Yuri Tielemans or Ibrahim Sangare. Do you know what it is? Bring both in for the price.
I mean, yeah, if we could for the price, amazing. Who are you going to?
That's not the aim of the show, G. We need to come down to one. So everyone in the comments, vote right now for either Tielemans or Sangare. Which one would you bring in? While I go over to my co-host for the evening, G. G, who is your pick for this debate?
I'm going to go with Sangare, actually. I'm going to go Sangare. Because I'm looking at that comment really made me think about Fabinho. And I do think that we are lacking in that area. Henderson can do the role, but I kind of need more of a specialist in that position. So I'm gonna go Sangare.
Do you know what? Everybody who's in this chat, you need to vote right now because it's down to you. Like we said, I'm going to have my vote right now, but it's down to you. So have your vote. We are a bit delayed, so I know you've got a bit of time to catch up, but pop it in there. Is it Sangare? Is it Tielemans? My choice, G, Tielemans. He's got to be the proven Premier League pedigree.
I hear that.
Top-class player. Belgium, probably Belgium's best central midfield player as well. Like, this is a...
Who else is Belgium?
Sorry, Kevin De Bruyne. Well, I'll take that back.
I wasn't even thinking Kevin De Bruyne. I was trying to think of someone else.
Back right away, G. My football knowledge then, everyone's like, who is this guy? Because he forgot right away about KDB. Second best, in my opinion. G's rolling. G's trying to just discredit me altogether. Do you know what G's trying to do? He's trying to be the host of the show. That's what he's trying to do now and discredit.
I'm genuinely trying to think of all the Belgian midfielders that they have. You know what? Who you said you're picking Tielemans. I'm picking Sangare.
I'm picking Tielemans because 16 million, it's a no-brainer. Adds quality, fits in nice with what Liverpool are about. Can play right, can play left, can play attacking midfield, central defensive if he needs to. Yeah, Tielemans for me. Let's see who people are voting. We've got one vote for Tielemans. Second vote, Alex for Tielemans. 2-0. Here we go. Come on. Sangare's got a vote, G. It's 2-1. Tielemans, 3-1. Tielemans based on FSG and price. 4-1 G. Sangare 4-2. 5-2. Tielemans, Kopite 6-2. Alex Halson. Miles is firing back though with a Sangare at 6-3. Now we're moving on. 7-4. Tielemans isn't that great. Oh no, Tielemans isn't that great. So it's still 6-4. Still 6-4. But Bogdan's coming back. It's 7-4. 7-5. Bidders in the building putting his bid in. 8-5.
No. Alex has voted before. He just voted for Tielemans. You lot think you're slick. Yeah. Don't work like that around here, sunshine. So we're going to go back one.
And you know what then? 7-6 then. It's 7-6. James hasn't had his vote. It's 8-6. 9-6.
One more.
That's it.
Is that it? All right. Fair enough. We'll go to
9-6. Yeah, we've got another one from Kamoy as well. That would be 10-6. So Tielemans wins the first battle. Do you know what? You're right. G ain't letting it slip. Do you know what I mean? He's not letting it slip. He really isn't. So Tielemans wins the first battle. 3 players left to go. Let's do this. Cool. I know we've been streaming for a long time.
Big up yourself. Big up yourself.
For staying in this long, I appreciate it. I've had nothing but fun. I don't even feel like it's been this long, to be honest. I've had nothing but fun. Let's keep the fun going. We've got 3 more players to touch base on. And then we're going to sign out for the night, boy. Let's have a look. The next one. Let's go curveball with this next one. Let's go curveball.
Before we even go
curveball, heard of this guy. Okay? A lot of you won't have heard of him, so I might have to just wax a little bit lyrical about him. So, Madi Camara, playing at Saint-Etienne in the French league, 5.4 million. That's his value, right? He's played 3 games. He's already got an assist in the league this season. But what I love most, right? Central midfield, defensive midfield, and right back. All of those positions are positions that we need to be looking at. Now, I like watching the French league because I think there's so many techie players. And I think when you usually bringing players out the French league, it works in the Premier League. I feel like it's a league that kind of replicates and does what we kind of do in the Premier League. Even though it's the Farmers League, there's a lot of good exports from that league. He's dynamic on the ball. Like, do you know what? He's an Oxlade-Chamberlain without the injuries prime. So he can dribble. He's got a shot in him. But what he does have, that discipline to be physical, a bit like a Basuma, to be physical. He's a box-to-box. He's Basuma. That's basically what he is. He's Basuma, not as polished yet, but he's got an assist in him. He's got a goal in him. Can play right back as well, G. That pushes Trent. 5.4 million. I know not many people have seen him, heard of him. Maybe they have. I'll have a look at the comments in a minute. But this guy, for me, fits that FSG mold perfectly, G.
To be fair, I will have to give it to you in that regards because I haven't seen any of him, to be fair, other than YouTube highlights. But to watch him like live performances, I haven't seen him enough to really judge. The only thing I will take away is his positioning and the value. And both look very decent. I'll tell you that much. To be fair. Yeah, I mean, Sean Dock said, yeah, you lost me when you said he's like Ox. I hear that because anybody like Ox is definitely not someone I want, to be honest with you. But I get what you mean in terms of Ox when he first came and the Ox that we thought we were going to sign. It will come down to price, to be honest with you. If you feel that like the price would be good, then why not? If he seems like a signing that you get alongside someone else, that's what I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And like we're doing, we're trying to pack this squad out right now. We're trying to get players in. Him and Tielemans could both come in. And that, to me, you've got cover at right back. You've got a box-to-box player. You've got someone who can sit in and cover for Fabinho. Go on.
What about, someone just said it there, what about Calvin Ramsey? Is he not the same as...
That's a good point, actually.
Do you get what I mean? No,
I just got distracted, G, by the love chat. I was like, "Whoa!" I was popping up here. I was like, "All
yeah,
right, let me write that down because I'm sure it's going to be after 11 o'clock when I finish this. So I'll just pop that down in my little notebook and then I'll delete the comments." No, I'm joking, people. Look, we don't promote that kind of thing on here. If you do that in your own time, it's entirely up to you. I know James Issam in the comments, he definitely does that kind of thing. So follow James Issam for more of that promotion. Let's go and have a look. We're going into everything here. His age and his attributes. I get what you're saying, G, in terms of was it Calvin Ramsey who you mentioned?
yeah.
We need to see what he's about. We need to
Alex
see what
Wilson,
he's
big up
going to
yourself.
offer. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's always good to have potentially three players who can push in that
Yeah.
position. He's not a right back naturally, but he plays at right back when he's needed to. So that's it's a nice thing to have. 24 years of age. His attributes, he's got an assist this season already in 3 games. He's known to score more goals than he gets assists, to be honest. But again, he's a box-to-box, break-up play style midfielder. So we're not looking at goals from him. We're looking at fitting into our system and covering for Fabinho, covering for Hendo, covering potentially for Trent. I like it. It's a curveball. It's one we put in there, but it's a curveball. I want to see what everybody's saying about it. Do you know what Ellis is saying, Zakaria? We looked at that before. We have looked at that, but again, it's someone we've been linked with, and that ship sailed. Sean Dock, you lost me when you said he's like Ox. Prime Ox, not Ox. Prime Ox. That's what I said. Bidders at that price we have to consider. That's what I'm talking about. These are cheap prices where we snap somebody up, and we could be onto a winner.
I know for a fact
cat.
if we sign him for that price, that we are definitely making a profit. Definitely. We made a profit of Minamino, so definitely making a profit of this guy.
Yeah, James isn't impressed. James, we've kicked the chat now. Don't worry. I've just kicked them. He's saying, whoa, 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 James. Everybody knows what you like, James. It's no surprise to anyone. So don't worry about it. For those of you that know, James he's not just anybody. James is part of the Kloppzone team. So don't worry. We're allowed to troll James a little bit hard. Primox had injuries too. This guy doesn't have injuries. This guy. Let me try and pull some things up on him right now. Whilst
you do that, can you go back to Sean's previous comment just above that bloody
this one?
Yeah. You see with that, Sean, it's like I get why people think having Trent in midfield would make sense because we're looking at him from an attacking sense and what he can potentially do on the ball. The problem with midfield in this team, it requires a level of discipline he does not possess. That is the issue. He can't play in midfield. He's proven that he can't actually play it. Not in this system anyway. Yeah. Maybe in a different type of a midfield role, he can do it. Because what you're going to ask him to do, play right central midfield? That means he has to defend. And we know that he does not really like doing that anyway. So I don't feel that we're going to get the same Trent, if that makes sense. And especially going forward, definitely going to get stifled. 100%. If Thiago gets stifled in that team, I don't see Trent, kind of going into midfield and then producing what he produces from right back position. Do you get what I mean? So I just think I get why we say it. And I was one of those people who did think it before, but I just think, nah, I need a more disciplined midfielder than Trent, because then it allows Trent to do what he needs to do, from the right back position. Man.
Yeah, I completely agree. Trent's
but I get where you're coming from, Sean. So
I get it because Trent's played there, and because Trent's so good on the ball, because he's got that vision, it seems like a natural link because he drifts into midfield.
Yeah.
But it's because he drifts in from the right, he becomes undetected. So he's got more time, he's got more space. Trent's not the type of person who's on a swivel. He's not good on the swivel. He's not good with pressure from behind. He likes to see the full picture. He needs time on the ball. So yeah, I'm not sold on on Trent. Tom Bron is saying it's a bit risky. We need someone who challenges for a spot. I completely agree. But for 5 million, that's what I'm saying. And do you know what? In terms of fitness, the last 2 seasons, so last season and the season before, he's only 24 years of age, by the way. In the League One, he played 37 games in 2021 and 35 in 21-22. That says to me, I don't even need to pull up his injury record, G. That brother doesn't get injured.
Yeah, I mean, when you're comparing him to our midfield, 100%, man. Do you get what I mean? It's one of them. It's one of them ones. But I think it would only be because of the price. To be honest with you, I think that's what would be interesting to FSG more so is how much he would actually genuinely cost us. But
Yeah.
if we had to, I think who won Tielemans versus him, I'd have to go Tielemans, man. I'd have to go Tielemans.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I think everybody's going to vote Tielemans. I don't even think it's worth putting it up in the chat. But again, keep an eye on this guy. This is why he's in here.
Guys, when we throw these
Keep an
players
eye
in,
on
keep
this
an eye
guy
on them.
because I can genuinely see if he doesn't come to the Premier League, he'll go to a bigger team. He's going to be a great player. 24 years of age, national caps under his belt, like at youth level, not at senior level, but keep an eye out for him. I'm telling you now, Madi Kamara. He's coming to a team near you soon. Coming to a team near you soon. Let's pull up the next one then, because we know what the vote would say. There's 2 left. I want to go with this guy first. Edson Alvarez.
You know when you said his name to me, that's not the person I was thinking of. When you said his name to me.
This is it, G. This guy is blown under the radar. Why Man United didn't pick this guy up instead of Martinez, I don't know, because he can play centre-back, can play DM. What? This guy, physical, great on the ball. Reminds me of what Rodri's doing, what Busquets does. He's that type of player, G. 19.8 million, we could probably get him for about 30 million, something like that. Like, for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. 24 years of age as well, G. Wow.
I mean, I would sign him. I would definitely sign Edson Alvarez. Yeah, now I've seen who you're talking about. That for some reason I had someone else. I was thinking, why would you want to sign that guy? But him, 100%. And look, Tom Bron said it. Like, I think he's someone again who comes in and he challenges Fab. He comes in and it's not just going to be an easy ride for Fab, and he can go into centre back. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So from when you've got someone like that, a bit like, as you said, I would have loved Lissandro Martinez, to be honest with you, because I agree with you when you mentioned, I think on Never a Foul, that he could actually be a 6 as opposed to a centre back. I believe that as well. So when I look at someone like Alvarez, it's like the other way around. He is a 6, but I believe he could also play centre back as well. So it gives us that option. So I would sign him. I can't lie to you. He's definitely he's someone who can break up play. And obviously, of course, Fabinho can do that already. I just feel like with someone like him, as you said, he's like Busquets. When they break up play, it's not done in the way that, like, it is a bit like Fab. They don't do it. It's not like Mascherano. It's not done like that. It's done like just nick the ball here, nick the ball there. You know what I mean? It's very intelligent football. Football IQ is obviously really, really high. So I would definitely sign him. And Ajax, they churn out some of the best young players in the world. So I would definitely look into him. Definitely.
100%. And you know what? It's funny because, Sean, we know they're doing it. 12 million plus add-ons. We're doing it. But if we can get the deal done, we do make good business in that sense. We operate very well when it comes to getting the best deal for players. I'll give Julian Ward, Michael Edwards. I'll give them that because we're good at that. The problem is, G, his price on here on transfer market is very different. Like Tom Bron saying, and I take Tom Bron's word because he's from Holland, from the Netherlands. Is it Netherlands or Holland? It's Netherlands, isn't it?
I mean, I say Holland, but yeah, you can say Netherlands. But I always say Holland. But it's officially.
You need to let us know. Tom, correct us on that one. But Alvarez is going to pop it up. 20 million price that on here, but Tom's saying 50 plus million. Ajax has already lost a lot of players and are asking already 80 million for Anthony. The thing is, though, Anthony's a juicy name. Anthony's gonna
Yeah, that's
cost that
different.
much for players. Brazilian, Fleury, like the next level, looking to be one of the next ballers in the game. Alvarez, low key, Mexican guy, chilled, hardworking, hustler. I think
He's
I
got
like
that
him.
dog in him. He's got
He's
that
got the
dog in him.
dog, as G said. He got the he got the dog. I like him.
Hey,
I want to see what everybody's saying.
yeah, what
We
would you
can
guys
say
go for?
both.
Tielemans or him?
Tom says we can say both, Holland or Netherlands. I just say Netherlands. I just do. Everybody, give your vote now because me and G are going to vote. Is it Yuri Tielemans from Leicester, or is it Edson Alvarez from Ajax? Let me know what your vote is because your votes matter, like we always say. So don't go hiding on us. Slap the likes as well while you're doing it because we need those likes on this video. G, it's a tough one. This Alvarez or Tielemans.
Alvarez.
G's gonna Alvarez, people. I feel like people wait for who we vote for
Yeah,
because I
before they
feel like
make
there's
their
a bit of
vote.
favoritism going on in the chat tonight. I feel like it's going on. Each to their own, but have your own goddamn minds, people.
They like who
I'm
they
gonna
like.
go with. This is difficult, G. When you actually deep it a little bit, it's difficult. I've got to go with Tielemans again, purely for the fact he's so versatile as a midfield player. If you, for example, Alvarez, you're covering for Fabinho, or you're coming in taking Fabinho's spot. You can play in at centre back. Do we really need that? Probably right now, actually, yeah, we do. But Tielemans, if Hendo's out, Tielemans comes in. If Thiago's out, Tielemans comes in. If Fabinho's out, Tielemans comes in. Hendo drops to the 6. He's just offers a little bit more for Liverpool, 16 million again. But I really like Alvarez. If he came in, I'd be happy. But for me,
People saying
Tielemans
getting
gets a
both.
vote again. Let's see what the people are saying, though. Gee, my backside is sore.
Oh, my
I'm not
backside
going to
is
lie.
super cool.
Like, people sitting on these chairs for so long, it's not good for the backsideness. But we go on. Let's have a look at the votes. Here we go. I don't know what backsideness is. I really don't know what it is, but I said it, so here we go. Up first, we got one vote for Yuri Tielemans, 1-0. A lot of people saying both of them. I get what you're saying. Like, me own fucking brother. I like that.
I like that name. Yeah, I like that.
Me own fucking brother. I like that one. He wants
Because
both.
you have to say it like that. That's why. Otherwise, it won't make much sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like, if you go, me own fucking brother, it doesn't make sense, does it? It's me own fucking brother. That's how you gotta say it, lad. Me own fucking brother.
I like
Sean, 1-0, okay? To Tielemans. 1-1. 2-1 Tielemans. 2-2. Marque, stop being greedy. Oh, he's back Tielemans. 3-2 for Tielemans. Alvarez will shine like Diaz, so choose Alvarez. 3-3. 4-3. Edson's gone in the lead, but we've got to come back. Tielemans, because he's in the Premiership already. I hear that. So is this a draw so far?
We still got a couple to go.
Alvarez back in. It's 5-4 Alvarez. Luke Chambers, Tielemans. The next comment that comes in, that's the deciding vote. The next one, for whichever player it is, that's the deciding vote. Who's it going to be? I'm on the edge of my seat because my ass is so sore. That's not the one we need. That's not the comment we need. We need Tielemans or Alvarez. No, we don't need Paqueta, my own fucking brother. We don't need it. We need to know. Oh, Remy, we don't need to know if Leicester aren't going to sell him. We need to know who you're choosing. Is it Tielemans or is it Alvarez? Let us know. I could cheat, G, and go with the Instagram things here, but I'm not going to do it because
what's the kind of general consensus on Instagram?
It's the same. We've got Yuri, we've got Alvarez. It's the same kind of consensus. I'll change. Tielemans, Ellis is saying, and then
You
another
can't just
Edson
be
come
out
in.
here changing and that.
Do you know what? My own fucking brother didn't vote. So I'm going to give it to him. Edson gets the vote, G. Alvarez again as well. Alex Holson, he has a future at the club. Sean Dock says, sign me own fucking brother. Just do it.
Bro,
Sign him right
just for the
now.
name alone, I want to sign him.
Do it. So, G, I feel like people are just backing you. Why do people back you, G, all the time?
They back the knowledge. They back the knowledge.
Back the knowledge. So, Edson Alvarez takes that lead with one player remaining, G. So far, we've had Elise, who won the top 5 attackers vote. We've got Edson Alvarez winning the midfielders vote. But this, again, is going to be a difficult choice to finish. G is going to wax lyrical in a second about this guy because I know this is one of G's picks, and I agree with G. After deepening it a little bit, wow, this guy's serious.
Dominic, I will give someone £10 if they can just pronounce his name correctly for me.
That's what I was going to say. Someone in the comments, right? So, for example, if my name
spell it out phonetically for me.
So yeah, spell it out phonetically. See, geez, I like what you do. So my name's Ashley. You would put Ash, A-S-H, and then you would put L-E-E, Ashley. So I want to know how we pronounce this name. We're going to give it a go, G. We'll see who has the best attempt. But G just calls him Dominic. That's cheating.
His
and it's probably not even Dominic. It's probably Domnic or Domnic. Dominica.
Dominic, mate.
It's Dominica. Dominica. Croatia.
Yeah, Sean, I agree. There are numbers in the name. I know. There's a 5. There's a 1. There's a 4.
Oh, have a minute, right? It's a SZOBOSZLAI. I'm going with Zoboslai.
Oh, that person's back in the chat again. Bloody hell.
Oh, are they dropping these like, oh, get out of the chat, you dirty little pest. I'm blocking you. There you go. Blocked again. Zoboslai. That's what I'm going with. Dominic Zoboslai. What are you saying, G?
Oh, hold on. We've got someone who's Hungarian, Miles. I'd say.
Is Miles Hungarian?
Yeah, he says, look, I'm Hungarian. Literally said.
So I'd say, he literally says, look, I'm Hungarian. So I'd say, that's not phonetically, though.
Yeah, I need it phonetically. I need you to sound it like almost write it out, but sound it out for us, please.
He
is a baller, regardless of his name, anyway.
Gee, wax lyrical about him while people are telling us how to say it. James is with me. Sobozlai. Very funny, Mr. Holbab saying Dominique. Stop copying me now. Stop copying him. We've got Sean saying Sloboslai. Interesting one. James is desperate to have his name on this chat, and just comment. He's spamming all the time. James, stop spamming. We know that you're part of Kloppzone. It's fine. Look, this is my comment of the night.
Shabba ranks. I like that.
Dominic Shabba ranks. G, tell us about this guy though. Dominic Shabba.
Everyone keeps talking about Nkunku. I'm like, I don't care about no Nkunku or anybody else. This guy has been on the radar for ages, for at least 3 to 4 seasons now. Probably 4, actually, to be honest with you. Since he was young, he kind of burst onto that scene. And ever since he moved to Leipzig, which, to be fair, people were a little bit like, you could have gone bigger. That's how good he was at the time. Like, you could have gone bigger than that. Play central midfield, left wing. I know we're not necessarily looking for a left winger, but it's the central midfield position I'm looking at. Technically sound, absolute sweet striker of a ball. Great, well, not great, but a good free kick taker, set piece taker. Has an eye for goal. Like he is one of those players that if you can get in on a good price, you get him in. And as Alex Olsen says there, if you guys remember him, if you go back watch the Euros for Hungary, he was he was one of the players that you could just tell he has the quality in there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, he's one of the few players that they had who had quality in there. And I just think that someone like him, when people talk about your Nkunkus, they play almost like the same position, or they can play both the same position, both central midfield and on the left. And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking he's the one that you want to sign. He can break the lines as well. He's one of those, almost like a Gundogan, where if you play that way anyway, if you play that way, you need someone to break beyond the striker. He can do that pretty well. So I would sign him. I would have him.
I like this comment though, because saying, has he got a bit of an attitude problem? Because we know traditionally.
Yeah, but who doesn't?
Well,
hey, Roy Keane, no one ever said anything about him, did they? So,
You've got a point there. 21 years of age, G, as well. This is the level that we're talking about for youngsters.
Yeah.
We're not talking about prospects. We're talking about someone who is delivering week in, week out. Last season, 6 goals, 8 assists in 31 games. Like, this is a player, G. This is a serious contender.
Very, very good defender. Very, very good midfielder. And like I said, man, like where he can cover quite a few positions, maybe not defensive midfield. I won't say he's a defensive midfielder like that, more center or attacking. And again, on the left-hand side of things. But I just think he has quality, though. That's the difference between, would I say, him and the rest of these other midfielders, where they're good midfielders in what they can do, but he provides just that little bit of quality that we might just need in certain games. Do you get what I mean? So I feel, do you know what I mean? I feel that he might be someone, and people talking about his attitude problem. Listen, Nunes just got sent off and have been banned for 3 games. Don't worry about attitude problems. All right, we need that. We need it.
Because you know that, like James said, Klopp will slap the attitude problem out of him. I'm starting to doubt that a little bit more, though, now.
Yeah, no,
I'm starting to doubt. Is Klopp going to slap? I know he's not going to slap players. Like, you can't just go around slapping, man. But is Klopp going to be like, Gee, I tell you what, you are pushing those buttons tonight. He's trying it, G, tonight, people. I don't know. I think it's the tiredness settling in.
I'm tired.
It's the tiredness settling in. But that is the last one of the day. I just want to say, James agreed. Didn't he already sort Nunes out? We hope so, Ellis. We hope he sorted Nunes out.
And what he said, he had a nice stern talking to. So,
yeah, he's a bit of a leader as well. Exactly. This is what we need. Someone who's had responsibility at a young age. This is a great shout from you, G. I can't lie. A great shout from you. Klopp won't take players with attitude. That's why he didn't go for Aubameyang.
I hear that.
I get it, but he's worked with Aubameyang. I still think he could have got something out of Aubameyang.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I think it's the Liverpool team in a general sense that they command the respect. And it's that type of group where you just settle into the way that everybody else is.
Yeah.
And there's nobody in that team is a prima donna, so to speak. Nobody's a diva. We've got a great bunch of players within our team. I don't want to wax too lyrical about them because they did me dirty last night. So we won't talk any more about that, because all that matters, G, is the final decision. Who is going to win the vote of our top 5 midfield? Will it be Edson Alvarez or Dominic Szoboszlai? That was so good. That was sounding proper, that.
You kind of gave me a bit of a chill. Chill, bro.
Szoboszlai. I think I should be Hungarian. Miles, what do you think? Could I pass? Like, obviously, like, I might not look that Hungarian, but do you think I could, like, Szoboszlai? Hungarian. I think I could do it. I don't know why the voice is so deep. Miles,
I don't know either, and this is what was worrying me as to why is his voice so damn deep. But let's go.
I don't know why. G, who are you going for? Edson or Szoboszlai? Or Dominic, as you would say.
Dominic.
I knew you were going to choose Dominic. Do you know why G's chose Dominic, right? Because I'll tell you the truth.
There's no truth. Don't listen to him. There's nothing to say.
It was like a 3-2 split on each one. It wasn't a split because we did agree on everyone. We did agree. But G put 5 names in for both at first. And then I came back and I was like, right, I get that, but let's take these players out. I might even let G tell people who it was because you might agree with him at the end.
I'm gonna read out the names that I had before.
I said, let's take these players out. But G, they weren't realistic. I'm not arguing about that yet anyway. I said, let's take these ones out, put these ones in. G is waxing lyrical here about Szoboszlai because this one of G's men. I didn't know much about Szoboszlai. I'm not going to lie, but I'm saying his name like I did. I didn't know much about him, right? I'll not tell you who I voted for because that might taint the votes. G might have had both Edson Alvarez, might have had Szoboszlai, but it's one of G's men. This is why he's doing it. Let's have a look what people are saying because it's all down to the vote. People, please.
Szoboszlai. Who are you going for? Tielemans?
G, the sausage guy. I don't know what else he's on about. I think he's on about his name. Szoboszlai, the sausage guy. Maybe that's what he's doing.
I hope so.
I really hope so because there's been some suspicious people jumping into the chat today trying to advertise dating. So I hope you're not trying to advertise dating a little bit more, Ellis, because I'll kick you out as well. But let's see who wins the votes. 1-0. Edson.
That's cool.
1-1.
Dominique.
Slobodan Mikok. I can't believe I've just read that out. Sean, do you know what that is? When people message into radios and say Toby Larone, and when they say stuff like, what's the other one? I don't know what there's some. You've done it to me there, Sean. I'm guessing you're voting Szoboszlai though. You can have that. 2-1. 2-1 to Szoboszlai. Edson, 2-2. Alex, he joined Dortmund to be furring Klopp. The Hungarian. Yes, bidders. Oh, no bidders. That's G's. That's G's pick. 3-2 G. Elise Tielemans. Alvarez. That's another vote. 3-3. Oh, no, you voted again. That doesn't count. Is the sausage guy Alvarez? Or is it? No, it's Szoboszlai.
It's Szoboszlai. Yeah, it's Szoboszlai.
So 4-3. So 4-3. Here we go. Alvarez for sure. It's 4-4. There's only one choice for me. I'm guessing Miles is choosing Szoboszlai because he's from Hungary, just like he is. Oh,
we need one more.
I think it might be 5. No, 6-4.
Is it 6-4?
6-5.
5.
Gee.
2 more votes.
Two more
votes. 2 more votes.
Okay, 2 more votes. We need those 2 more votes.
Either they're going 2 for you, or if I get 1, then that's it.
Then it's game over. It's 6-5 for Alvarez versus Szoboszlai. Who are you voting for? It's 6-5. Let me just put them up again just so you can see who they are, so you know who you're voting for. This is Szoboszlai, 25.2 million people. Wow, that's expensive. Or Edson Alvarez, 19.8.
6 million cheaper. Oh, God.
You know what I mean? 19.8, proven, solid, robust, can do the job Liverpool need him to do. We don't need this fancy young 25 million.
Guys, let me set the team for you real quick. What would you rather have in your team? A guy who, as I did put it, has got the dog in him? Or do you want a guy who is neat on the ball, cute on the eye, is a great worker? As they've said in the chat, this is a player who has got a bit of an attitude problem. But guess what? We've got Jurgen Klopp. He'll slap that, as quoted by James, he'll slap that out of him. So if I'm being super honest, wouldn't you want that type of player as opposed to having, I mean, the guy who's probably going to get sent off in his first game, like Nunez? Like, I don't need that. I don't need that. Give me someone else. Give me someone else. That's what I'm saying.
One's but voting so far, it might just have to go to you, G. It might have to. I want Mr. Ese Alvarez. Have you already voted, though? He's
I
not.
can't remember if he did.
Oh, yeah, he has. But nearly got us then. Do you know what? I'm giving you the win, G. I'm giving you the win. We'll give it to Jobuzlai. Oh, yeah, Jobuzlai gets it. G wins again. Woo! G wins. Big up yourself, Ellis38. You've been amazing
Oh
today
yes, man. Big up
in the
yourself, bro.
comments. So thank you so much. Going to head off. It's been a great stream. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that bell notification because you'll get notified when we go live. Jump straight on. And like we said, our shows, we're always like this, interactive. No matter who's on, we stay on longer if we need to. Like tonight, oh my days, 3 hours, G. My goodness. But we do it for you, so we appreciate everybody. Unpopular opinion, is that the problem with our squad? Started after we won the Champions League because we didn't sign anyone. Completely agree. But we're not getting into that tonight because it's top signings. G, you've took it. You've took it because you went in, you dropped Elise on us, you came back, you dropped Jobuzlai on us. I want to know what people who watch this show back decide as well. So leave your comments if you watch this show back on YouTube. G, go on, tell them you're 10. Go on, tell them you're 10 while you're here, G.
All right. So who I had chosen, I'd gone Ruben Neves, Yuri Tielemans, Ibrahim Singare, Dominic, and Eze. Those are my midfielders. Eze was the last one, yeah? For attack, I went Pedro Neto, Musa Diaby, Elise, Harvey Barnes, and someone did say this in the comment, Jonathan David. That was another name that I had brought up. I don't know. I feel like that list is okay.
The good players, and the debate was Neves ain't going to leave now because of Nunes signing. They've got a great midfield, but I'd love Neves in our side. It'd be perfect. Eze, we thought we just chose really between Elise and Eze because we felt like Elise would offer a little bit more for Liverpool. Eze's kind of the star boy. As much as Elise's top class, I think Eze is the one that kind of holding out for the future. I think Eze is like a fan favorite, a bit like Harvey Elliott for Liverpool. Everyone's resting the hopes on him. Jonathan David, for me, he's one of those. He's tearing up trees in League One, but I think he'd come to the Premier League and struggle. I just think he'd struggle. My own Fulkin brother says he needs a few more years. Are you, man, on... Do you know what? If we wake up in time, yes, we are on Jerry's show tomorrow. So please, everybody, get over and follow the Jerry James show because we're on the regular tactics board tomorrow, breaking down the United game. So make sure you get over there. Eze is all style, no substance to me. That's interesting.
Hear what I'm saying? I said, you're all style and no damn substance. How about that? Yeah? Because you're just out here shitting on my parade like there's no tomorrow. Yeah? You're...
I love it. I absolutely love it. Assad, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I apologize for him, Assad. Like, he's rude, he's tired. Forgive him. He's just won as well. You'd think he'd be happy. You'd think it'd be me cussing people, but it's not. It's G. So I really apologize. Following Fabrizio, every move run. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure what that means. But, G, on that note, I am done. I am spent. I am tired.
Guys, we have
For
been
those of you that aren't in the
day.
UK right now, it's 11:30. We started streaming at 8:30. All my days, I need to stand up. G's got spider problems too. He needs to go and sort that out. Completely does.
Like, you know what? Like, I'm still looking at this spider. When you guys leave, yo, it's going to be an absolute shit show behind here. So don't worry about that.
Absolute. But everyone, can I just say, we've had a sustained number of people that have stayed with us throughout these 3 hours. That's unbelievable. Please keep coming back because we remember these names of people who are regular on the show. Mark A has been one. Assad always jumps in and hounds us. Like Jared, as G called him, RJ. Like, these are regular people that are jumping in all the time. If you jump in, we'll always big you up, always call you out. But until next time, G, this has been the Transfer Show. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed every second of it. I'm not going to lie. But until next time, go get some sleep, replenish, because tomorrow morning we're bringing you Prem Heads, Fantasy Premier League, Roundup.
In less than 12 hours, I just
Less
realized.
than 12 hours. Plus, Team of the Week. Double A is going to join us. Double A, might make him host it so we can just sit back, relax, strap on your seatbelts. You've never been on a ride like this before with a producer who could replicate. No, I can't even. Let's not do this.
He's tired, guys.
G,
Don't worry.
as we always end the show, you'll never walk alone. Peace,
Boom.
my brother. Boom.